What is going on, everybody? My name is Alex. You might recognize me from the Designer Toy Collective. I'm here for the Sideshow Con inaugural Unruly Drink and Draw. This is with our friends at Death Wish Coffee. And we got a lot going on today. We got a lot of artists to talk to. We've got a lot of art to get to, and I just want to talk about a contest we have going on. We've got a contest with our friends at Death Wish Coffee. I'll have all the details for you. We're going to have links dropped in there, and you're going to be able to enter for a chance to win an awesome Unruly and Death Wish prize pack. I'll show you all, some of the things that have come in it, and yeah. So I mean, we're going to go ahead and get to our first artist. But one more thing, I just want to mention that our friends at Death Wish Coffee, you go to deathwishcoffee.com and enter Sideshow Con at checkout, and you get 10% off your order. So that's pretty awesome. But I want to get to our first artist, which is Kano. Where's Kano? Where's my man Kano?
Yo, I'm right here. Am I live right now?
I don't know. I see you. I see your handsome face.
All right, let's do this. What's up, everybody? Shout out to all the hooligans out there.
What's going on? It's New York, man. I'm New York. I don't know. Are you still a New Yorker? Do you still consider yourself a New Yorker?
I'm not in New. I'm always a New Yorker, born and raised. But I've been living out in LA for a little while now, so it's been good to me. Yeah.
It has it. I mean, everyone knows one thing. Whenever we talk about New York, whenever we talk about LA, I want to talk about pizza real quick. I mean, come on. You got to recommend some good pizza places for me, my friend.
In New York?
No, out here. I haven't had pizza out here.
I don't even try, man. I just do tacos in LA. I do pizza in New York. I keep it like that.
That's it. Yeah. I haven't had I looked at a place trying to sell me a bagel. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I mean, I'm sure there's good pizza spots. I don't want to I don't want to shit on it, but I'm sure there's good pizza spots out here. I just don't do much exploring.
All right, we're gonna. You know what? We'll do that together. We'll bond over that. We'll socially distance, find ourselves some pizza out here.
Yeah.
All right. But let's see. So we're gonna be doing some art. We're gonna be doing some live art for the people. So since we have that New York connection,
yeah,
I want you to draw something New York, something that is what you consider a New York staple.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Something that reminds you of home. That's what I want you to draw.
For me, everything I draw reminds me of home. I'm kind of like a manifestation of the city. So, we'll flex a little something here.
Yeah.
So while I'm drawing, will you be feeding me questions of people that from people that are watching, or just converse?
We'll get you some questions there. By the way, for everyone who's not around, we have Paul. He is moderating. And he's the disembodied voice that you're gonna maybe hear every once in a while, but he is there. He's gonna be feeding us, audience stuff. And I'm sorry that you can't see his wonderful hair, but he's gonna be out there. But plus, I have some questions for you as well. So,
all right,
what's up, everyone?
There's Paul. And actually, one of the things I did want to ask you, which ties into what we were saying, is how much did where you come from inspire your style?
Well, where I come from inspired my style big time. I kind of grew up doing graffiti and like doing tags, and that was always an influence on me when I started doing my own art and when I started doing character designs. I always want things to flow like a tag. I want the lines to move in a certain way, and it just had an influence on me. And what was the question? I was figuring out.
See, that's what I'm doing. I'm here to throw you off. I was basically asking, like, how much does where you're from, inspire and inform your art? Because I mean, even with the graffiti scene, right? New York and Los Angeles are very big in the graffiti scene, but they have both, different styles because of the locale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, growing up in New York was a huge influence on me as an artist, just because as a kid we got to go to all these amazing museums in New York. Those are things that if I lived somewhere else, I probably wouldn't have access to. And back in the days of public school systems, they put an effort into that, into taking us to like art museums. And even though we were like little knucklehead kids and we kind of didn't get it and we would make fun of the artwork most of the time, it was still pretty cool that, that experience stuck with me. When I was old enough to appreciate those things, I knew where to go to find it, So that was a big influence on me. Seeing how much of a hub New York City was for art in general, from gallery stuff to just museums, and just those experiences existing in New York City was always cool to have. And then, like, even when I went into animation and saw comic and was into comic books, like all the comic book heroes that I liked lived in New York City. So it was like, yeah, I was always inspired by kind of like everything in New York.
Yeah, and I can see that too, especially with the comic books, where like I feel like the biggest character in some of these comic books is the locale, and New York is one of those things where like it is one of the main characters of, let's say Marvel Comics. You know what I mean? It's like that's one of the things that they have, is that the city, you have, like with your Unruly pieces that you did, the Marvel ones, Captain America's Brooklyn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Peter Parker's Queens, you know what I mean? Representing all these different boroughs,
Yeah, there are actual places. So like when you read these comic books and your imagination is going wild and you're drawing, if you're out with your parents and you're driving around Hell's Kitchen, like you're looking for Daredevil, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I'd probably really, that's where he would have a fight, like right there. It's kind of like if you're a kid and you have a wild imagination and you're into drawing these things, it's like, it's awesome to grow up around that.
Yeah. That's yeah. And especially us, us with the overactive imaginations,
Yep.
So, I mean, and something else is like, you had the influence of going to the museum. Is that what got you into starting to draw? Or was it the comic books, the art museum? What was it that actually got you drawing in the first place?
Oh, what got me drawing had to be like cartoons, Like I just loved watching cartoons as any 80s kid would. And, like Transformers. I mean, we were obsessed. Like they really had us brainwashed, we had to have the toys and we had to have episodes. And so, yeah, man, it was Optimus Prime and like all of that, He-Man, all that stuff. Like we're just like glued to the TV. And when I couldn't find, say, a coloring book that was like a Transformers coloring book, then I would just try to draw it,
Wow.
Yeah,
it's almost like
even when I did find like coloring books that were Transformer coloring books, I traced it as much as I could instead of like coloring them. I just wanted to learn how to draw them.
Did you ever do that thing where you put the tracing paper over the TV? You ever do that where you you like pause the tape? If you're like watching a show that you recorded, you pause the tape and you put tracing paper and you try to draw it. Me and my brothers used to do that when we were kids. I feel like we benefit.
We don't trace over here, buddy. We don't trace.
You just said you used to trace now you're making a liar out of him. You literally just said you used to trace. What you lie. Everyone do not believe a thing this man says. I mean, I think we did benefit from growing up in the 80s,
Nobody ever believed me. No, yeah, I did I didn't do the TV thing, but I did I should have done the TV, but I did the glass, I just put it up against the window, which sucked in the wintertime because the windows were sort of like wet from the cold. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I did yep, that's kind of how you learn how to draw these things, man.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
and then I was lucky enough that everybody that I grew up with, the majority of these guys were all artists and they were older than me. So they introduced me to a lot of stuff like how to draw comics the Marvel way and anime. And that stuff stayed with me because, I mean, when you're that old, when you're that young, like the older kids doing stuff, you just think everything's cool that they do. So that's how I kind of got into it.
It's good to have like inspirations / support system, because, some people struggle, because they want to do art, and they struggle a little bit because they don't have that support system or, direct influences. So that's a good thing to have,
Yep.
So, I mean, I want to talk a little more about your Marvel pieces that you did with Unruly. And I'm loving this drawing, by the way. It's killing me. You're going to send this to me, right? I'm going to give you my address. You're going to send it back home, send it to me. But
where are you from in New York, by the way?
I'm from Brooklyn. I used to buy my toys on Kings Highway. You know what I mean? And then I moved out. I'm out on Long Island now, so nice. That's where I am. But cool. I was Gravesend, But I want to talk about your Marvel pieces a little bit because I love the style of each of the characters and how they're all very unique. And I was wondering what inspired specifically to each character. You know what I mean? Because you got Captain America obviously has the helmet with the wings, which I love that he has the wings on his outfit. But then you have Black Panther and Spider-Man. So I mean, what informed the design decisions on those pieces?
All right, let's start off with Peter Parker. He was the first character that I designed of that set. And Peter Parker was, I really wanted to do an updated take on that design. I did that drawing and I had that concept before I saw Spider-Verse,
right.
Or any of that stuff. So I was already thinking, how would these characters look in a modern metropolis? Like Peter Parker wouldn't, if he was a teenager, he wouldn't really be walking around with an SLR. He would have like an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
And he would be posting. He'd probably be in the social media game, and he'd be on Twitter and doing all that stuff. So I kind of wanted to have this young, cool dude, this kid that was like, he's dressed regular, but he also has like a Spider-Man hoodie because, kind of like a kid. He kind of wants to tell everybody that he's Spider-Man so he could, shine and get the chicks and do all that.
Yeah.
But he can't. So like wearing the hoodie is kind of like nobody will suspect anything because everybody sells those hoodies at the mall. So
right.
It's sort of like his incognito look. I just wanted him to look like a teenager would look right now. His sneakers are up to fashion. The way he's dressed is pretty cool. And I just wanted to have a little bit of swag. Peter Parker is like this white kid, right? And if a white kid, the white kids in Queens that I grew up with, they were pretty cool to be able to hang around with everyone else. It wasn't like they weren't, he wasn't like the Peter Parker we read in the comics was like really nerdy from like the 60s and 50s. He was actually, so I kind of wanted to make him a little bit more adaptable to how the city actually is,
right? And
how he would survive. So
right, because he would have to fit Peter in Parker, somehow a little more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he couldn't be such an outcast. Like he would have to be sort of cool to blend in,
right?
Or have a little bit of swag, And then the next character I did after from that group was which one was it? I think it was Captain America. And Captain America, I just wanted him to look like, I don't know, man. They did so many cool things in the Marvel movie with his outfit that I kind of just wanted to make it look like streetwear a little bit, like a hybrid of streetwear and military. I grew up in the 90s, so the Army Navy store was always a spot we hit up for like combat jackets and camo hats and all that stuff. So
I used to get all my Dickies there and stuff too.
Yeah. So there's a bridge there that connects like hip hop culture, streetwear, and military. So I kind of wanted to tap into that for Captain America, especially if he's from Brooklyn. So it's like it's even more, in my day we used to say gully, right? Gully means like something a little bit more hard edge, more official, like roughnecky, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, everything else, I kind of wanted to, again, if you're from Brooklyn, you always wear fly sneakers if you're from Brooklyn. That's just so I had to give him the fly kicks, had to match his outfit.
Yeah.
And it's a whole thing, I gave him kind of like a little tilt to the head and he's saluting because, he's Cap.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm staring at you drawing, by the way. I'm getting distracted watching you draw. I'm trying to distract you, and I'm watching you draw, and I'm getting distracted.
All right. So when you go to and then after that, I designed Wolverine. I designed after that, and my take on Wolverine was I kind of wanted his colors to pop. I wanted to be a hybrid of like the original Wolverine costume, the original X-Men costume,
yellow and blue, like real bright.
Yeah, I just thought of my favorite toy, like just how he would also pop off the Saturday morning cartoons in that colorway, and it was just so cool. So I wanted him to feel like a Saturday morning cartoon who happened to be a toy. Like when like toys would come out back in the day, you'd look at that toy in the store and be like, man, it looks just like the cartoon. Like, I kind of wanted to take it home. So I wanted Wolverine to feel like that. I wanted him to pop off with those colors. I always had it in my head when I was a kid that Wolverine would fit awesome into this cartoon that I liked, and it was this cartoon called Bionic 6 from
Bionic, dude. I could sing that whole theme song, dude, right now. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
We should.
Hearing people talk about Bionic 6, dude, I was at New York Comic Con last year, and people on the other side of this of this fabric wall talking about Bionic 6. I ran around the corner so we could sing the theme song. I can't even believe you brought that up.
That's hilarious. But yeah, Bionic 6 was one of those shows that was like just so cool. And I always thought, man, well, Wolverine's kind of like that. He's like a cyborg and like he's half, you know. And so I always loved those Bionic 6 toys because they were made out of metal.
Yeah, that's my first die-cast toy.
Yeah, and the primary colors just popped off. So I was like, man, I tried to tap into that energy a little bit when I picked out his colors with all those strong primary colors. And then, you know, you got to give him his claws, man. It's not Wolverine unless you give him his claws. So just had the claws and yeah. And then I guess we move on to, one second, let me do this.
Wait, we got a question from a fan on YouTube asking, what mediums do you like to use? Do you have any favorite brands?
Mediums. When I draw, I like using Sakura pencils. They're pretty awesome. They always send me stuff. So right now I'm using a mechanical sumo grip, which I kind of like because it just got a nice grip. I'm drawing on bristle board. I like using just any type of bristle board, and I'm using Copic markers that I'll highlight this with a little bit in a little while. And when I'm filling in my blacks, I like using Permopaque. That's also made by Sakura. And sometimes I'll throw in like a fine point Sharpie pen in there just to kind of like accent stuff. So those are my favorite things to draw with. In terms of paint, I usually go with golden paint. Spray paint, I always go Montana Gold. For like, if you see any of my murals out there, they are done in Montana Gold, almost strictly. Yeah, just.
Right. So I mean, we got other questions, but I hope everyone's been getting the rewards code that came up. We had a rewards code that went out in all the chats, so Paul should have dropped that in there for everybody. So hope that's everyone's getting that because everyone loves their rewards code. Kano, did you get your rewards code?
Sure did.
That's it. You've been drawing on it. Here we got another question for both of us, but I'll let you answer. Who is your favorite 90s, 80s character and why?
Are we talking, man, you got to be more specific, like cartoons?
It just says 90s, 80s character because me, I'm just going to say Skeletor because even as a kid, I was like a mini goth like my whole life. I always liked skulls and I always liked Skeletor and stuff like that. Plus he was ridiculous and he was mean and he was grouchy and I always thought that was funny. But that's where I'm thinking.
Well, I'll have to go kind of goofy, but Inspector Gadget, man. I mean,
oh man,
Inspector Gadget. I like his car. I like all his gadgets. His helicopter hat. His little sidekick had a computer. But I mean, just Inspector Gadget. He could get out of anything, you know.
Yeah.
So I just thought he was the coolest, and he had an awesome song that was sampled in hip hop. So it was just like everything to me.
I actually played that theme song during my band recital back in like junior high. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Any other questions? I got a huge Venture Brothers fans. Do you have the same name as the character for a reason?
Yeah, he was named after me.
That's it.
I worked on the pilot. I've been on for Venture Brothers way back in the day, and then I came back as a layout artist. I animated on the pilot, came back as a layout artist for season 1, and I was a character designer of season 3. But during while I was working on that production, Jackson Public, he was a really cool friend, and he named that character after me. He was like, and then I just saw it, and it was like really cool to see a character based on me, and he became. I mean, the show became a hit, a huge hit, right?
Yep.
I can't tell you how many pilots I've worked on that didn't become shows, but that one became a huge hit, and it's got like this huge cult following. So whenever I tell people that like I didn't pick my name because of that character, he's actually supposed to be me, bugs people out.
Wow, that's a pretty good answer to this question. This person's probably very excited about that. And who was your favorite?
If you're excited about it, now's a good time to go to my website and buy some stuff. It's gonna be worth millions once I'm done with this drawing.
That's it. Now that you know that, you got to go to his website. You got to buy everything. And you could sell it to other Venture Brothers fans. Now you're trying to start the secondary market on your own stuff. How do you do that?
Yep.
I'm trying to see some other question from the audience. Where does your signature yellow face stripe come from?
Does my signature what?
It says your signature yellow face stripe, where you put the yellow face stripes in.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's just a stylistic way of doing it. When I was drawing stuff back in, I just filling up sketchbooks when I was younger. I was always trying to look at different ways to interpret my own style into things, from line work to color to how hands are treated to everything. So if you look at anime, right? When you look at anime, they always have like these lines across the face whenever there's like an expression, when they're surprised, usually right on the cheek. Even if you look at old cartoons, when they smile, there's two circles on the cheek. There's always like a blush or something, right? And I wanted to do something a little bit more abstract, something that sort of broke the shape and the contour of the face and kind of just put a bar across it, like a highlight. Instead of being so careful and doing it flesh tone, I just picked a color that just popped, and then I set the eyes on top of it. I like the way it looked, so I just rolled with it.
Listen, everyone's got their style. That's your style, and it looks good. And it popped out to somebody. You know what I mean? Popped out to a lot of people. So, let's see. Do we have any other questions from the audience? Let's see. Well, you know what? I'm gonna do a little trivia on you. How's this sound? Okay.
Oh. Okay. This is for the audience.
This is what I have you. I had this over here for you. In their music, because this is going to come back, because I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to finish up one other question, but in their music, Gucci Mane, Cardi B, Future, 2 Chainz, and other hip hop artists all drop the name of this location in the MCU.
In the MCU.
Yeah. So all of these artists, we had Gucci Mane, Cardi B, Future, 2 Chainz, and other artists. They dropped the name of this MCU location.
Wakanda?
Bam. Wakanda. So now I want you to finish up and tell me about the Black Panther, because we never finished up talking about your characters.
Look at that. Wow.
Look at that.
You're good at this.
Look at that.
Bring it back in. Rewind.
Call back.
On top of Black Panther being such a banging movie, right? I mean, it's just such a dope character, and it was awesome to see him just pop off the screen so lovely, especially for people who didn't know who Black Panther was. So when I designed this character, I kind of wanted, first of all, right off the bat, I knew I wanted it to be T'Challa, right? Being that I'm a kid of mixed race and I have Black people in my family, particularly my nephews, representation is important to me. So I kind of wanted you to be able to see his face right off the bat. I was like, that could be anybody under the mask. I kind of wanted to make sure that this is T'Challa.
Right. And you didn't want it to be just anybody. You want it to be specific.
Yeah, it's just like, So when I designed him, I was like, all right, well, I did some research. My name is Kano, but there's also, I get hashtagged a lot in a village in Africa that's named Kano. On Twitter, I'm always getting tagged on it. Right. So I did some reference. I looked up, just military wear in Africa, and there's like this hybrid of traditional garments, but also military wear like we wear, like field jackets and stuff like that. Right. So I know I wanted to give him that field jacket because it's sort of streetwear, and then I wanted to give him the kentai cloth on his sleeves, just as like a tradition of royalty. Right. And I wanted to give him headphones because, I mean, I always wear headphones. There's always a little bit of me in these characters. So I put the headphones on him, and I was like, man, something else needs to say Black Panther, man. Something else, like what could be cool, but also kind of cute and sort of like, I don't know, just like a nice little hit. So I gave him the Panther ears and on the headphones, and I was like, that's perfect. I was really happy with that. And then I went on top of his skin and I put on, I actually don't know the technical term for it, but I put, what are those marks when Black Panther is turning on his suit? Wow, it's really sunny over here. Let me see if I could.
Oh, yeah. What's it out? I don't remember the names of them. You're talking about on the suit where like the the reflective stuff was coming through?
Yeah, like the silver stuff. When the silver stuff is
The
coming
vibranium
on his
stuff,
body.
whatever?
Yeah, the vibranium stuff. So I wanted to put the vibranium stuff on his face, which also kind of I just remember being a little kid growing up in Queens. You know, we had like all races in my neighborhood. So I remember when I was a child seeing like immigrants from Africa, and a lot of the ladies had like the scars on their face and they had like these patterns. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like a cool tribute too. Like, so I kind of put them on his face like that, like to match his facial structure.
Right.
So once I had that going, I whatchamacallit, I just gave him some cool jeans, and I picked out the sneakers. The particular sneakers that I gave him are famous for like this elephant print pattern that they have. So I was like, that's perfect. That's like perfect for this wardrobe. And then Unruly actually suggested, hey, let's give him sunglasses. And he looked so cool with the sunglasses. So I was
Definitely
like, man,
looks cool
good
with the
call.
sunglasses.
Yeah. Yep. And then we gave him the little bracelet and just put him in the pose.
Yeah, dude, gotta have him in the pose. And I think I think all four of them and Ghetto Blaster, which that's a good question I should ask you. So all four of those figures and Ghetto Blaster are up for pre-order now. What song right now is playing on Ghetto Blaster's Ghetto Blaster?
Oh,
what's the number one song that plays on repeat?
Man, you know, he's like such an old school hip hop kind of tribute toy, but he's also kind of like from the 90s. So I have to say he's probably playing, as much as I hate KRS-One for doing the bridges over and dissing Queens, I'd have to say he's probably playing some KRS on that boombox.
All right.
You know?
All right. I'm loving this drawing, man. I can't wait to get this. I can't wait to get this in my mailbox. You know what I mean? Just roll it up, push it up. But yeah, man. I mean, dude, it was awesome talking to you.
That's great. It's been a half hour already?
Dude, it's been a half hour because, you know, man, time flies when you're drawing great art and you're telling great stories, man.
Nice. I didn't get to sip my coffee. Oh.
Yeah, sip your coffee. Oh, our friends at Death Wish. Don't forget, everybody, we're having a giveaway. So, you know, Paul's going to be dropping that link. And anybody else, you know, just everyone say goodbye to Kano real quick. Any last words? Any last advice for anybody out there as artists?
No advice. I mean, just keep grinding, keep doing your thing, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I can't really give out advice like that. I don't know everyone's situation, but keep doing your thing. I do have advice. I often get asked by younger artists, just like when they see me promote or post projects that I have coming out, like the Unruly toys and stuff like this. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. I've kind of been building a career for a while, and although it seems like all of a sudden there's a press release and toys are dropping, this is actually takes a long time to build, and you know, these things take a long time. So don't get down on your luck when you send people emails and you don't get a reply. You know, things take time. Aside from that, yeah, it's a journey, right? And aside from that, you can follow me at Kano Kid. All my new releases are there. Everything I'm up to. If you want to get art, all that stuff. And if you want to stick around, there's some bums coming up like Tracy Tubera and Jesse Hernandez. But you know, ask them some questions.
All right, man. Well, you should get in the comments and harass them. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, listen, it was good talking to you again. I can't wait to, you know, in better times we'll get to hang out. Maybe Designer Con next time. Man. 5 Points Fest, something. Sure. We'll get to hang out.
All right, man.
All right, man. Thank you. That's an awesome drawing, by the way. See you later.
Thanks.
So, just want to let everybody know, remind you about that giveaway, and Paul's going to be dropping the link to that in the chats. And let's just trying to see what else we got going on. Uh-oh. Tom's in the house. What's going on, Tom? We got Tom Whalen in here.
How's it going?
What's going on? Ooh, I got your voice. And for everybody who has been watching along with Sideshow Con, saw your dinosaurs, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Let me tell you what a hit those are. I mean, I know people who don't even collect toys that are really excited about all three of your dinos. Where are you? I don't see you. There you are.
You got me? Hang on. I'm trying to get this second camera working, and we're almost there.
We're almost there.
And we there?
I mean, I see you. There you go. I see your face. I see your camera. That's it.
Perfect.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Good. Happy to be here. This is exciting.
This is exciting. So let me start out by giving you your prompt so you can get started with your drawings, right?
Here we go. I've been waiting all day for this. I've been practicing with my daughter, so I hope our training has paid off.
I don't know. Let's see if I can throw you for a loop. I want to see you draw an animal.
Yes.
With jobs that you think that they're best suited for.
Ooh, okay.
All right. You pick the animal, you pick the job. So for everybody who's, like I said, who's been tuning in, Tom Whalen has these amazing. First of all, check out Tom's art, Strong Stuff, right? It's on Instagram, Strong Stuff.
Yes.
Strong Stuff Tom on Twitter, right?
Very good. Yep.
Yep. And your art is so cool, especially with all like the stark contrast of the lines. Like I love that hard line work.
Thank you. Super fun translating that into 3D for this project with Unruly.
Isn't it crazy when you see like a two-dimensional drawing like translate so perfectly into 3 dimensions?
It's kind of mind-blowing, and I every step of the way with Eric, I could not believe what we were producing. Because I do a lot of pin work, which is flat vector, but nothing 3D. So it's been pretty mind blowing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to see, like you said, with that vector artwork. It kind of actually seems like it was something that would translate well into 3 dimensions because it gives it that. It's such a surreal style to do that with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's been such a learning experience, and I enjoyed every step of it. And it's been a long production process. But it's so paid off. I could not wait for these to get out there.
Well, let me tell you, the second I saw Gentleman Rex, I mean, I love Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I love when you put them in silly situations, like when there was that Disney movie, I forget what it was called, Meet the Robinsons, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex was my favorite part of that movie. So seeing Gentleman Rex with the monocle is probably my favorite little addition next to the top hat and everything.
Thank you. And the sculpting on that, they got it just how I had envisioned it with the just the right amount of bevel, and I'm blown away. I'm so happy. Nobody is more happy about this than me.
Yeah. So here's a question, all right, because this technically is a drink and draw. So I don't know if you're drinking anything. And by the way, let
me do that right now then.
If anybody's drinking at home, I mean, we got to be safe. We got to be of age. I mean, if you're drinking along, just make sure you're safe and of age. Now, I don't know what you're drinking, but now I want to see, what is Gentleman Rex drinking?
Oh man,
seems fancy.
It's got to be a martini.
Martini.
Yeah. Even though his arms are not long enough to get it up to his mouth.
Yeah, he's got to have like a really long, twisty straw, I imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, but where's he all dressed up to go? Why is he so fancy? He's drinking his martinis. He's dressed up like for a night. Where's he going?
I don't think he goes anywhere. In my mind, he stays at home, and people come to him.
Oh wow! So he's a fancy host.
Exactly. He hosts all the parties. He's above the parties that everyone else is hosting.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So I mean, now we've got Brachionaut, right?
Yep.
He's Brachionaut. He's braving the final frontier. I love it, but I love all his patches. I love like the herbivore patch and everything. I think that's so brilliant. What is his first destination? Because I mean, obviously the meteor's coming for Earth. He's got to get off planet. Where is he running to?
Well, in my business, in my mind, he's all business. So his first order of the day is to stop that comet.
Wow.
After that, I'm gonna say he's gonna take a vacation to probably to the moon.
To the moon?
Yeah.
Simple. It's close. If he's got to get home, it's a shorter trip. All right, now Moses R. You got to put the R.
You got the pronunciation just right.
Is that it? Moses R.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I love that it's an underwater dinosaur with a peg leg. It kills me. But so pirates that inspired him. Do you have like a favorite pirate?
Oh man, I would say fictional pirate.
Yeah.
Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That ever since I saw that design, I've loved the way that was animated and articulated. As far as design goes, nothing beats that for me.
Yeah, I love like you said, it's like a Cthulhu sort of look, but I love how his tentacles were useful. They would pick things up, and like that's where he held his key. So I could see that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Moses R is drinking rum, obviously.
We had fun coming up with that name, and once we landed on it, it was like, that's perfect.
Did you go through like a bunch of different dinosaurs, like to try to think of what they're like what you're doing now? Like, did you go through a bunch of different dinosaurs to figure out what their job would be before you said like the name informs the design?
Yeah, definitely. The name came secondary on, I believe, all of them.
Okay.
We brainstormed a list of dinosaurs and then professions, and then just kind of started. I did a bunch of sketches early on, mashing them up,
Right.
And just seeing which ones made the most sense. There was a Triceratops that was a street rapper, like an 80s street rapper, which was cool. There was a Pteranodon that was like a bomber pilot that was one of them left on the cutting room floor, but they were fun too.
That's awesome. And that actually makes sense for a Pteranodon, because I mean, there's not much else that a Pteranodon can do, right?
Yep.
Unless it's like mail delivery or something, and that's boring, for a Pteranodon to do. So here's a question I want to ask everybody, and because I feel like this is a thing with art, is do you think like where you're from, like where you were raised, inspires your style?
I would say probably to an extent. I come from northeastern Pennsylvania, very like rural, hardworking, blue collar area. So I would say, yeah, if nothing else, that work ethic definitely plays into the way I approach jobs, and maybe not so much the art of it, but definitely the work ethic for sure.
Right now, yeah, I mean, listen, that's the thing. Like when and people don't think that there could be these different influences from where you're from, but I think that is a possibility, because I mean, whether you're from the city and you're exposed to art a lot, or it's just like you said, the work ethic of the area that just makes you try harder and work harder to get further ahead,
Yeah.
So, and I mean, how did you get your start in art? Because like you said, the work ethic inspired you to move forward, but how did you actually get the start there?
I've told the story a bunch of times, and my grandmother owned a candy store, and really I credit the beginning of my art career to sitting in the back of her store, spinning the comic book rack on Sunday afternoons, and just being so inspired. And she would hold books for me and let me read, and take, much to my dad's chagrin, he would say that, that's your grandmother's stock you're taking. Yeah. But she would let me take whatever I wanted, and that really kicked me into gear and inspired me from probably like middle school on. And then after that, it was just nonstop drawing. Just good. Up to this point, basically.
Yeah. Well, listen, guess what? We're all benefiting from that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So
here we go. Here's a question from Greg oh man, I'm going to mess up names. Greg Mixkagar. Are reptiles your favorite, or do they just come easier to you?
I think they do come. They come easily. I like insects too, but I think reptiles definitely come easy, and I have just a sweet spot for the designs, for sure. I'm a huge.
I'm like turning my head to watch you draw too, because I'm like obsessed. I'm like,
thank you.
This is awesome.
I gotta admit, I'm still deciding on a profession here.
Seems very animated.
Yeah.
town crier, maybe. I don't know, but it's your drawing. You've
Okay.
done a ton of work with Disney.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been to Disney World?
Disney World, not since probably early 90s. Disneyland, a couple years ago, yes.
Yeah. Well, what's your favorite Disney world? You know what I mean? Whether it's from the parks or whether it's from the movies, because everything's their own little universe in Disney. What's your favorite world, you would say? This is from the audience. And there's a follow-up, so we'll find out.
Is it all Disney properties, or are we just talking just Disney proper?
No, all Disney properties.
All right, Star Wars for sure.
Star Wars?
Yeah.
Got Galaxy Far, Far Away. Who's your favorite Star Wars Sith? That's from me.
Wow, you're coming with the hard stuff tonight.
Listen, listen. The audience comes with the easy questions. I'm trying to throw you off right now.
I'm gonna say, I mean, the easy answer is Darth Vader, but as far as design, Darth Maul is pretty hard to beat. I'm gonna take a stand for the prequels.
Oh my God. Okay. Listen, Darth Maul is pretty tough. Did you see that Mythos statue?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That exclusive with the bones coming in with the Zabrak, the bones coming out of his head. That's insane. There was a follow-up question, same person. Is it harder or easier to work on your own designs as opposed to something that's that's licensed that you didn't create?
I would say for me, I've been working with licensed stuff for so long,
Right.
that I find it's easier to work on the licensed stuff. I just have a feel for what the clients want and what they expect.
Right.
But I have to kind of switch gears at this point to do my own stuff. So as much as I love that, it doesn't come quite as quickly.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I guess having like a basis to work off is one thing, and then getting creative. But I mean, listen, I think you did a great job. And is he a baker or is he a chef? Is he like a Gordon Ramsay or is he like a French baker? I'm loving this.
He's gonna need a little more definition in the pie, but he's a pizza shop owner.
Listen.
Because who's gonna argue with an alligator pizza shop owner? You get what he makes.
Okay, so I mean, this is going to come up a lot, but as a snobby New York pizza guy,
yeah, I
would argue, even if it was at risk to my life, I would argue with an alligator handing me a pizza.
Okay, well then I wonder where the ingredients from his next pie are going to come from. You're going to be topping on the next pie.
Listen, that's everyone else loses then. I mean, exactly. I cannot possibly taste good. This is going to be a little bit left field. Okay. Not left field, but who's an artist that you admire that you think people need to know about that they may not know about?
Wow. I'm just going to name a couple off the top of my head. Matt Frank is a Godzilla artist who I love. I just tweeted some stuff of his today. Christopher Lee is one of my favorite artists. He's done a lot for Target, and he has his own great little cartoon animated style.
Right.
And begrudgingly, even though he does get a lot of work and we have our differences, I'm going to say Dave Perillo, who is a friend and co-collaborator of mine.
So friend and co-collaborator. So like, that's something I find interesting when you have someone who's like a professional friendly rivalry. Like, does that help you keep you on your toes? You know what I mean? Does that keep you it's like a friendly competition?
It's pretty unfriendly. I can't stand the guy, but
oh my God.
Yeah. But we wind up pooling our resources and putting a show together every once in a while, and we just kind of get sick of each other, and then
do you have anyone else that you can stand that keeps you on your toes like that? Do you have any? Or are you enemies with everyone?
I'm enemies just with him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's probably not watching now anyway. So
no, I personally invited him, man. I mean, he's actually in the next room. Let me bring him out right now.
Oh no, this is your life.
Let's see. We had another question from the audience. So I mean, I've seen a lot of your two-dimensional, your poster work, your advertising work.
Yeah.
So we have someone in, I think in YouTube wanted to know, are these Unruly pieces your first that have been translated into 3D?
Yes, as far as like true 3D with you know, turnaround and stuff. Yeah, I've done
Right.
like pins, and I just recently did some watches. That I'm
Some
pretty-
watches.
Yeah, some Star Trek watch designs. But as far as like a 3D turnaround sculpt type thing, yeah, this is the first time.
Oh, you got your Death Wish mug. These are nice mugs.
They're fantastic.
This is insane. Very nice mugs. All right, so here's a weird question. Since you brought up, you did Star Trek watches, by the way, because I'm very big on Star Trek. So, you know, what do you think of this rivalry? I mean, do you find it easy to have both of them in your heart, Star Trek and Star Wars?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm definitely a casual Star Trek fan, but I love.
Yeah.
I mean, I even like the J.J. Abrams movies. Don't kill me.
Listen, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. You know, there's a lot of fun stuff in there. I mean, you know, they were trying to make it, you know, a little more action oriented, but it was a lot of fun.
But yeah, I if I had to make a choice, it'd be the original series for Star Trek. But sure, I don't feel the rivalry as, you know, I love Star Wars and I enjoy Star Trek, I guess is the best way to put it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's room in the heart for both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's enough fandom to go around for both.
Totally.
So, but now, so we talked about Gentleman Rex, right? His drink of choice.
Yes.
We know that Mosasaurus, he's got to love rum. I mean, what else is he gonna love, right?
Yeah, the choice of alcohol for all of them hadn't crossed my mind as much thought as we put into them, but for sure that's
Well, I like to give characters backstories even if they don't have them, you know.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but now, right, Brachionaut. What would he drink? I mean, he's going to be in space, so he can't be too can't be too messed up. So what do we think he's got going on for him?
For straight-laced, so he's sticking to like
Oh,
protein drinks for sure. No alcohol. He's straight edge.
Uh-oh. Hi. Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
I don't know what happened. I disappeared.
He's back. Wait, I can hear him, but I can't see him.
You don't see me yet?
No, not yet.
All
But
right,
hey,
well,
everybody.
that's
back.
Anna right there.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were just paused because it was such a like significant point or
I thought I was left alone there. I thought I had been the big cane had come out and pulled me off.
No, you know, I just got so bored of the story. I just hung up on you. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I lost connection there. Is my video working now?
There you go. You're back.
But hi, Anna.
All right, I'm gonna go disappear again then.
Disappear again.
Nice to see you.
Sorry about that. So I missed everything. So I mean, I'm going to make you repeat everything from the beginning. I actually didn't hear the answer to any questions.
Where did I cut out? On the drink of Brachionaut?
Yeah, Brachionaut's drink, because I'm forcing you to think of these weird things, these weird backstories for, you know, I want to give everything. I want to give this pencil a backstory. So I want to know what his drink of choice is.
I'm going to say he is no alcohol. He's straight
Good.
edge. He's constantly in training. He's one-track mind. Water only. Water, protein drinks.
Perfect. Good. You know what? Listen, if he's going into space, that's what he needs. We had a question from the audience about what kind of pizza this Gator is serving.
Well, pepperoni or, as I said before, whoever complained last.
Which is me.
You don't know. You don't know. When you're placing the order, you have no clue.
You have no clue. I mean, hopefully it's not me, because that would be the worst pizza. And then that person would ask for their money back, and then they would be on the next pizza. Sorry, just like I said, I lost a lot of what I was doing here. So, oh, I had this question here. Is Gentleman Rex old money or new money?
Old money for sure.
Again, I love these questions that are like creating character backstories.
Old money for sure.
Old money for sure.
He
But-
he never worked a day in his life.
No.
No.
I mean, is he like a North Shore or South Shore? Fancy. Is he a Malibu rich, or he is? He's like Great Gatsby rich.
Man, deep cuts. I'm gonna go Great Gatsby.
Great, yeah. Cool. Sorry, I was just looking at this other comment. A lot of people in the chat want this as your next Unruly piece. By the way,
Make it happen.
you've already pre-sold your newest your next item.
Look at that.
That's amazing. Oh, look at this. You're drawing grass too. So I'm kind of like getting sucked into the drawing itself right now. Let's see. We got a question. What is your inspiration for your work?
As far as, I mean, each piece is different. I'll talk about the Unruly pieces. I wanted to do something. I've gotten a lot of questions when I've lectured. One of the main questions I get almost every time is, do you do original work? Because I do so much licensed work. And this to me was a great opportunity to create something from scratch. So the inspiration on those pieces was to just kind of and it's also as much as animated stuff as I do, they were a great way to just switch gears completely and just create something from the ground up with no preconceived notions and see where it goes. So the inspiration behind those was, I guess, to show my love of dinosaurs that I had since I was a kid, and just switch gears a little bit, and it was super fun.
Well, listen, I mean, sorry, I was just reading another comment from Facebook that the Gator is serving people running. It's people running pizza.
Oh man, we really should workshop an Unruly figure like this, because
This is great. I mean, I'm going to digitally sculpt it right now. I mean, I don't have anything with. Oh wait, I'm on the computer. I'll digitally sculpt it for you right now. This is it. We've already made it. We've already pre-sold the next piece.
I could work on this piece for however long it would take, months and months, and I may never come up with people Roni.
That's why it's great to have our audience is as being collectors and designer toy people and artists, people who are into art, they're good. Pick their brains a little bit.
There's a lot of value in this.
What do you collect anything? Are you a collector yourself? Because I mean, you're making toys, you're getting obsessive, designer toy collectors. Do you collect anything on your own?
Definitely. I collect a lot of Star Wars, specifically at this point, 6-inch scale, whether it's import Figure Arts or Hasbro Black Series. I'm a steadily growing Godzilla collection, which is, the bigger ones are getting kind of forced me out of this space. We're in the middle of a move now, so I'm gonna have a little bit bigger space when we move. So that's exciting to be able to display everything that's been flowing in. The pre-orders have been flowing in. So
isn't that, it's a curse.
Collecting
and being a fan of things is a curse. I mean, I have so much. I have my girlfriend texting me like, "Oh, you got 4 new boxes today." You know what I mean? Sending me pictures. So I understand what it's like to be the curse of collecting. But listen, if you end up running out of room, with the drawing, send the drawing over to my house and just send amongst boxes of stuff. I like Godzilla. Who's your favorite Godzilla? Like, other than Godzilla himself, who's your favorite kaiju from that universe?
Jet Jaguar. I'm a sucker for the 70s films. Jet Jaguar and that original Mechagodzilla design are just my jam.
Man, you're too easy. You don't even have to think. It's great. You're just like, I know exactly what I want. I know exactly which one I like. I was like, I mean, I like Rodan. I like flying monsters. That's always a lot of fun.
I don't think there's a bad one. So you're not gonna hit one that I'm gonna turn my nose up at.
That's, I saw this, I read this, do you ever read Twisted Toy Fair Theater?
Yeah, yeah. You mean in Toy Fair magazine?
Yeah, the one in Toy Fair magazine.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
did that Annoy All Monsters skit. It's probably one of my favorite ones. If you
No,
know,
I don't remember that.
oh my gosh, yeah, this is Gamera, and I just love how Gamera flies in the air and spins around, and then he lands, because he's this giant flying turtle, and then but he never gets dizzy, he never gets sick, he never throws up. But I like how they put that in the comic. So I can't get over this people Roni thing. What is the gator's name? Gator? What is this gator's name?
Oh boy. I mean, is Al too easy?
I mean, I'm Alex, so I feel like you're naming it after me, which makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Like you're obsessed with me.
It's kind of destiny then. So yeah, let's stick with that.
Oh my gosh, Alex Gator,
Yes.
or just Alligator?
Alex, definitely.
All right. Is this Pennsylvania? Now, is this Pennsylvania pizza, or is this New York pizza?
Boy. How about let's go with Chicago. We'll go
Chicago. Okay, now
go neutral.
I felt like we were becoming friends. I felt like we were getting along, and then you just went and straight up betrayed me like this. This is such an amazing drawing. I'm obsessed with this drawing right now, man. Like, I'm trying to concentrate on asking you questions, and I can't because I'm just watching you draw this. I mean, this would really be a great figure, but I mean, if you want, by the way, everyone, all the dinosaurs are up for RSVP, so you could be one of the first to know. What does that say? Tommy teeth? No. So we're they're all up for RSVP, so you'll be one of the first to know, and hopefully Alex Gator gets onto the docket, because dude, this is
Absolutely not a dinosaur, but definitely in the same mold as the dinosaurs.
I mean, it's one of the most ancient creatures that we still have, right? They were alive during the time of the dinosaurs. So
Right.
Oh, and Anna, by the way, Anna supports Chicago pizza. We have that rivalry in common.
We
So
were at, my wife and I went to Star Wars Celebration last year.
Yeah.
And we discovered it and kind of went nuts for it. So that's
hey, listen, I'll forgive you that, because you named the alligator after me. But
all right. Fine.
all right, everybody. So Tom, listen, it was awesome having you on here. It's awesome that you look at this amazing drawing. Hopefully we get this into a figure. That would be so awesome. Thank you for telling us and sharing all these stories with us. And thank you for drawing this with us. And everyone will remember, all the dinosaurs are up for RSVP. You should be getting links. And do you have anything else? Do you have anything you want to plug? What do you want to plug?
Strictly the Unruly dinosaurs right now. I'm super pumped about them. It meant a lot to me to actually, being a toy collector, be able to design my own toys. So hit those RSVP links and check them out when they come out.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much. I can't get over this drawing. So yeah, I'll give you my mailing address on the side, so you can just send that to me.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on my wall.
Not tomorrow.
All right, man.
All right.
Well, thanks so much, man. Thanks for joining us, dude. It was really awesome having you here.
Thanks, Alex.
See you later.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. So I just wanted to remind everyone real quick about our friends at Death Wish. If you enter the code SideshowCon at checkout, you get 10% off your order. And don't forget, we have this Gleam giveaway. And we're going to test your art skills. That's going to be part of this Gleam giveaway. You want to get extra points in the Gleam giveaway, we want to test your art skills. But we'll get back to that in a little bit.
Give me 1 second, I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. So now we are introducing our friend Chogrin. Once he can hear us. Hold on. Let me know when you're here, my friend. I guess in the meantime, Paul should be dropping links for the Gleam contest, and let's see what else we got going on. How are you, man? You're in yet?
All right.
Oop.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
So you
Trying
hear
to figure
us.
out. I can hear you. I'm trying to figure out. I have my other camera set up, but I don't see it showing up.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now I see you. Okay,
You
now
see
I
me?
I see you on my computer screen, and now I see you on my phone, but it briefly went away.
Well, I'm
So-
glad you could see me, but I want to see your face, my friend.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I want to see you. I know what I look like, I have to look at this in the mirror every day.
There we go.
There we go. What's going on,
There we
man?
go. What's going on, man?
How you
Are we
doing?
live?
Oh, we're live. Yeah, we're long live. I've embarrassed myself enough.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Let me reverse my camera. Great.
Yeah, because now I just see the top of your hat. Look at all those books.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be story hour. You know, that's what we're
What?
going to forget about drawing. I want you to pick up any one of those books and you're going to read us a story.
All right. I'm gonna pick one from my floor.
Oh my goodness. Well, you and I are going to do something different.
Okay, sure.
All right. We're going to do something different. We're going to play a little bit of Pictionary.
Sweet. Let's do it.
Let me see. Do you you're just going to, I'm going to, here we go. You're going to just draw something and I'm going to have to guess what it is.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm going to draw something and you have to guess what it is.
Oh,
But
fun.
in the meantime, I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to bother
Sure.
you. I'm going to annoy you with some questions.
So I'm gonna draw and talk. So
You're going to
both
draw
of
and talk. That's the thing. I want to keep you on your toes.
I got it. All
But
right.
first of all, I'm looking at your shirt here. Oh, yeah. Death Wish.
Yeah, man.
That art is insane.
Oh, I know, man. It's the art. I got that art book and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine just started working on the new show on Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's pretty dope. All right, I'm gonna start. So what's your name again, man?
Alex. Oh,
Alex, I know we follow each other on Instagram. You have
Yeah.
some dope posts on Instagram.
oh
I
yeah,
know you. I know you as the. I'm like, oh, that's the guy that has the Rasputin toy.
Yes. I mean, I dyed my beard red, but that, I'm trying to go for that Rasputin look. I just shaved the head, got the beard going.
Nice.
Nice. And I know we're gonna talk about Guru del Toro because
Oh yeah.
that's an awesome, amazing piece, and we're also going to talk about why obviously Hellboy's the best one. Clearly, Rasputin right here, but I don't know. You might have your own favorites with Guillermo del Toro, but that's a good question. That's a good leading question. Is what specifically about Guillermo del Toro made you pick him? Especially when they were deciding to make a figure like.
Well, it's funny because I feel like I need to do the
Plug it. Look at
shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion. Listen, that's what we want. That's what you're here for.
No. So actually, the whole little history. Sorry for people. I'm gonna take a little break from drawing for really quickly. So this guy actually started out as a 2D design, like most things, and then I had a friend at the last minute sculpt my drawing at the last minute. My friend Taylor Brown, and this was actually part of an art show in 2015. Right. And so Guillermo has the original one, the what I like to call the prototype, and then right. A couple of years later, when I heard about Unruly, I was I didn't specifically think of doing this as a toy, but I just sent them like, hey, because I have a bunch of other guys that I've done. I've got this little guy.
That's so awesome.
Wait, just wait.
It's Mr. DNA, and it's oh my gosh, no.
Yep.
No.
Oh, it's happening. This is also based on an illustration that I did, and right. This is another toy series I'm trying to get off the ground eventually. So,
what are you doing? What is wrong with you? That is insane.
Yeah. I'm calling this my Inanimate series. So I'm taking props and iconic things from movies and making them like animated, kind of like the old 1930s cartoons. You put a face on it and it moves. Yeah. So this one I blended. This one I blended a Mr. DNA. So this one it has interchangeable little dinosaurs. Oh, so you can put the the Dilophosaur.
All right.
Sorry. All right. I'm probably going off topic.
No, it's not even that. It's just what's wrong with you. That's insane. That is such an awesome thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like when I think of Guru del Toro, like obviously you're a fan. Yeah. Of his director, and then just to put the all these different characters. So if you want to break it down for everybody.
Well, it was inspired by this little guy, which is the Cronus device. this is a prop. This is a movie replica from his first movie. But
Yeah,
this essentially like these this little device like the gold and the 6 arms was kind of the inspiration for him.
having
And
each
so
piece there.
yeah, so I decided then to make each limb kind of like, Hellboy, Pacific Rim. And then like kind of the bottom ones are kind of vague, but because he loves Lovecraft. But a lot of this stuff appears in his movies. Like there's tentacles in Hellboy, there's crustacean arms in Pacific Rim. This is the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah. And then this robot arm, it could be like represent like a mecha or like a, what are they called in Pacific Rim? They're called Jaegers, the Jaegers.
Yeah.
Should have had some Jägermeister here. I did bring this though, since I didn't know if it was a drink and draw with coffee or it was a drink and draw, so I brought this just in case. So
listen, it's a drink and draw where everyone drink. I got to keep my wits about me because I'm here for 3 hours. You know what I mean? You're only here for 30, so I'm drinking water. But and I got my death wish to keep me awake.
You get bathroom breaks?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna give me any bathroom breaks.
You have any bottles lying around? No, I'm kidding.
So I got this really great Death Wish, can here. My water and my iced coffee.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to go off topic there. But yeah, no. So Guillermo has been a big inspiration for me, just because I'm I'm from Ecuador, and just I always like you have dreams and aspirations, and so when you see somebody like Guillermo kind of just like plowing through the Hollywood system and kind of being able to do his own voice and make his own movies, like his auteur movies, that's inspiring because it helps you think like, oh, I can do that too, or or making toys or whatever art form that you're doing. So all right, so I'm drawing.
Yeah, because that's a question I've been asking everyone, because it's something that I find the most interesting is like where you come from in forming your art. And I hope the audience is not bored of me asking that question, because this is gonna be my 3rd time asking it, because I feel like to me that's a big question. Like, so you're from Ecuador, like, how does that inform your art aside from like you said, seeing Guillermo del Toro move up and everything, but you have your own style.
Well, like it's funny because I grew up growing up in Ecuador. The wonderful world. I was lucky to have cable growing up. And I think cable was becoming more of a common thing in the late 80s and stuff. So I was able to grow up with like everything that everybody else around the world was kind of like a lot, but I didn't see a lot of movies in theaters. I saw a lot of movies on cable or like reruns. So like that's how I found out about Monster Squad or like Goonies and stuff like that. So that's
Wolfman's got nards. I mean, seriously.
Dude, I'm waiting for a Monster Squad toy line. Like it's got to happen. I mean, I don't know. I think whoever has the rights, make it happen.
That's it.
But anyway,
by the way, I was straight up traumatized by one scene in that movie, but I don't even want to talk about it. I don't know why I was traumatized.
Is it the one where the Wolfman like scares the ambulance driver?
No, I really I don't know why I was so traumatized by the guy getting I think it was the police officer like getting stuck in the car and they throws the dynamite under the car. That disturbed me so much as a kid. So much. I was like, oh, no, get out of the car.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Huh. That's so funny. That's such a specific scene.
Yeah, I don't. And whenever I think Monster Squad, I think 2 things: Wolfman's got nards, and that.
Policeman getting blown up.
Yeah, policeman getting blown up.
I thought you were gonna say the part where like they put the dynamite in the Wolfman's like pants and he blows up.
No, it's just that I couldn't deal with the guy not being able to get out of the car in time. It freaked me out as a kid. I don't know why.
That's hilarious.
This is all right. So this is going to end up you just drawing whatever you want, and I'm not going to guess what it is. I'm just going to watch it and love it.
Basically, yeah.
So we're going to see. We have a question from the Let Your Geek Side Show group. Ron Yarenas is asking, "What is your favorite piece? I guess you've drawn, or what is your first professional piece?"
Oh man, favorite piece I've drawn, man. I have to say, like. The last one that I drew was I did this in 2018. It was the 200th anniversary of Frankenstein, and I did all these like little kind of tributes to to like all the different pop culture Frankenstein, so Frankenberry, stuff like that. I mean, that's a piece
Oh,
I was really proud of. But trying to think, professionally, I guess like when I got some of my artwork that I had featured in galleries when it was published, that was kind of like one of my first like official pieces that got put out there. Yeah, I don't want to sound like, like this kind of sounds so like full of myself. I mean, there's been so many. I just kind of like
Do it.
I can't specifically pinpoint right now. So
Don't hate yourself, man. Come on, do it. Promo,
Yeah.
self promo. Come on.
Another toy prototype I did, and this is
Uh-oh.
really cool. He-Man.
Oh my goodness.
This is what I like to call my power fist series. Like it's
Right, because I do love how when you do that with the exaggeration of limbs. You know what I mean? I think that's a really cool style.
Yeah, and then I have
it's so weight. It's so like flat. That's so cool.
Yeah. And I have the slime pit version.
Oh my gosh.
So,
oh, dude, the slime pits.
Yeah.
Kids don't know about the slime pits, man. They don't know.
They don't know about the slime power.
Yeah, it was so gross, but it was so much fun.
As a matter of fact.
Oh no.
No, go ahead. You say what you're
I have another question for you, but while you're finding that,
let's
see. Dwayne Critchfield on YouTube wants to know: are you self-taught, or did you have like a mentor teacher? Which I always find fascinating too.
I mean, growing up, I was, basically before I went to art school, I was pretty much self-taught. But yeah, I had, I guess what you call quote unquote professional training. And it's kind of hilarious though, because while I was at art school, I actually missed how I drew before I got training.
Oh, really?
And then you kind of sort of like it's true what they say is like you learn the rules. Art school gives you the rules and the drawing a bunch of naked people for 10 hours and stuff like that. That actually helps. It helps you draw better from life. But then you kind of like when you leave school, it's almost like you have to unscramble all of that and kind of sort of go back to the thing that to kind of how you going back to your original ideas and kind of applying both worlds and merging them into one. So hopefully that answered the question.
Listen, but that definitely answers it because it's a mixture of you finding your style, learning the pro stuff, learning the technical stuff, but then injecting your soul back into it, because there is value in both.
Yeah, definitely.
Arminda Sancho on Facebook loves their Guru del Toro doll. So
awesome. Thank you.
There you go. What else we got? I thought we had another question in there. Did you see yourself doing this as a profession when you were a child? It's from Judy on YouTube.
Yes, that actually that's funny. I'll tell you exactly. I always drew as a kid. My mom. I have to thank my mom for keeping a lot of my old drawings. But the moment I kind of realized, not necessarily I could do it as a profession, but that I wanted to really do it, or I got inspired, is when I was watching the 1990s Ninja Turtles movie, and April O'Neil was drawing all the turtles when they were like all like battle worn, and she had this sketchbook, and she was like kind of doing like these color pencil drawings, and for some reason that kind of sparked something in my brain. I was like, oh, that's awesome, I want to be able to draw like that. So
and you went out and you bought a yellow one-piece jumpsuit.
Exactly.
Right? Full April O'Neil.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry. So I want to see what you're drawing here. Hold on. Let's see.
Okay.
Floating crown.
I stole that from Mignola.
Dude, I don't know if you know this, okay, but from some of my posts on Instagram that you've seen, but I'm a humongous Mignola fan, huge Hellboy fan. So obviously, I have that connection. Oh, you're looking at something. I just saw you look at something. Are you going to pick something up again?
No. It's on my wall. I just have I have a giant Hellboy collection as well.
Okay.
I'll show this off because it's right here, but this is one of my latest price possessions. So.
Oh, you bought that? See, I slept on that statue, and I was one of the people who's like, I'll that's my biggest problem with collecting. I'm always like, I'll get like the Sideshow statue, dude.
Yeah.
Is
the movie version? Yeah.
No, not even the movie, the comic version, where it
Oh.
comes up with the swap out head with the crown of the apocalypse. Oh, dude,
Oh man,
that's my
that's-
holy grail of statues. Like, I'm such an idiot.
the
And
one,
the Hot
the
Toys
one,
I have on order right now.
yeah, the one that I want is like I like my, what's the word? The Ark of the Covenant is, I know, and Sideshow did this. They did an actual 1-to-1 full scale bust of Ron Perlman.
Oh my, yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually saw that recently.
The bronze one, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the bronze one, dude. That was insane.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have people for Chogrin. Chogrin, you said that Guillermo has the prototype. What does he think of the piece? I mean, obviously.
I mean, I'm guessing, that he likes it. I know for a fact, when I got to check out his house, that he has it in his Harryhausen collection. So I took that as a
If
form
it's-
of flattery.
if it's amongst Harryhausen, then yeah, that's definitely flattery.
Yeah.
From YouTube, Adam Powers wants to know, since you like Monster Squad and Guillermo del Toro, have you ever drawn your own interpretation of the Gill Man?
I have. Actually,
You're
let's
never
see
going to
if I
finish
can-
this drawing, by the way.
No, I'm never going to. Yes, I have.
That's
Just
all we're good at distracting you.
Google Chogrin Monster Squad and you'll find it. I did all the monster. I did all their faces. So, yes, I have drawn Gilman, and he's actually he was like, when I was drawing him, it kind of gave me like Predator vibes, because the way that Gilman design is his mouth is very particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, obviously, Adam Savage is a fan. Someone on YouTube wanted to know, they saw the Adam Savage review, and is he a fan of yours? I mean, he's obviously a fan because he collected and he gave quite the review. That was an awesome video, by the way.
That was amazing. I was kind of blindsided by that, because I knew that I wanted to send one to him, and that kind of got taken care of. We sent one out to him, but sometimes when you send those things, like, it's like, okay, cool, awesome. If if nothing comes of it, and then out of nowhere, somebody that is involved with him sent me an email saying like, oh, here's the link, and I was like, oh shit. Oh, can I swear? Sorry.
Yeah. It's a drink and draw. I mean, come on, it's after 6. That's when the swearing starts. I mean, I'm a New Yorker, so I usually swear from dusk till dawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dawn till
I
dusk.
lived in Philly for a while, so yeah.
Is it always sunny there? Because I hear it's always sunny there.
You could say it is. It's a wonderful city. It has like, it's a lot of its spirit I still kind of stick. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the inspiration and things that I got from there I still use now while living in LA, even though I've been living in LA for 10 years now.
All you LA people, no one ever wants to come and live near me.
So you're living in New York right now?
I'm not in New York right now. I safely and covered myself in, like, basically I drowned myself in sanitizer and, like, basically wore an entire bodysuit to get on a plane to come out to Cali for Sideshow Con. And I'm basically quarantined here, and I'm going to be quarantined when I get back home.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really hilarious. I'm sorry.
You could laugh at me. I'm the one who decided to cross country and then have to. Basically, I escaped my 1-bedroom apartment in New York to stay. But let me tell you, the 1-bedroom apartment in California is 10 times better because of the, I'm telling you, the cross freeze air. It's like, my girlfriend's been texting me, like, I don't even want to go for a walk because it's 95 degrees outside and humid.
Yeah. Right now, that's the one thing I miss about the East Coast, though, is the fall season. It gets really nice.
Oh, we have the best fall.
Yeah.
But let's see. I'm trying to look at other questions that we had.
I should probably try to draw something and you guess it. I'm sorry, I'm not following protocol.
Listen, it doesn't matter because we're really here. Just, what we're here to do? We're here to talk about you. We're here to talk about Guru Del Toro. We're here to talk about your art. We're trying to get inside your head a little bit, man. What happened? You just started from scratch again?
Yeah, I'm gonna start a new one.
What?
Yeah. You're keeping it fresh.
Oh my gosh. So Judy on YouTube wants to know if you could sum yourself up as an art. This is a tough one. This is or it might not be tough for you. If you could sum yourself up as an artist in one word, what would it be?
Oh Jesus.
One word. You only get one. And by the way, hold on. I just want to show you what I've been drawing this whole time, because I've been drawing this entire time.
Okay.
Yeah, let's. I want to show you. Look at this. This was my drawing. You were basically ripping off my drawing the whole time. Look at this. This is going to be the next Unruly figure, by the way.
You have it on camera, guys. It's yeah. I'm sorry. My bad. Now I can tell the whole world that you're the basis of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not even going to show them the original prototype for Guru del Toro, because I have the real one in my house. So yeah, one word. Just describe yourself. Sum yourself in one word. It's so tough. Judy's harsh.
This guy's gonna sound so corny, but I guess passionate.
Oh, he's passionate. Perfect. That's a good description. Let's see. We had another one. Who would your dream collaboration be with? I guess it could even be professional or artist, anything, you know?
Dream collaboration. I guess if I had to, I mean, I would love to. Right now, as an artist, I've worked in the animation industry. I worked in, all kinds of all different fields and stuff. Eventually, I would love to get into movies and things like that. And I guess like if you have to go to the top, is I would love to someday collaborate with Spielberg.
Wow.
So probably won't happen, but
Listen, man, don't say it won't happen. Don't say it.
Yeah.
Won't happen. You know what I
Never
mean?
say never. Never say
Never
never.
say never. I mean, listen, 10-year-old you see yourself having a career as an artist and like having a figure made or something?
If you would have told me when I was in high school that I was going to do an art show of Guillermo del Toro and then was going to do a figure of Guillermo del Toro, I would have not believed you. My mind would have been blown.
And he was going to have it
and
in his
my mind's still
Harryhausen collection.
Yeah, my mind's still blown. So just the fact, I mean, the coolest thing about this whole, I feel like I need to second sell it.
Oh my God! There you
while I
go.
talk.
Listen, that's what you're supposed to do. Listen, Paul's dropping links to it in the chats anyway. So we all, everyone knows about it. But yeah, there you got to go. Oh yeah, let's see the bottom. Got your signature on the bottom.
Yep. Unruly. What was I gonna say? Blah 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 blah. See, I forgot now. Like
Did I throw you off?
I was mesmerized.
Talking about how young you versus, that's what I'm saying. Like, manifest that Spielberg thing, my friend. Make it happen.
Yeah. Also, trivia. We both have the same birthday, so.
Oh, really?
That probably wouldn't be the first things that I say. That probably creep them out. Be like, hey, we have the same birthday.
I met Armin Shimmerin from Star Trek, and we have the same birthday. And he decided to recite. I'm born on November 5th, so he decided to recite the whole "Remember the 5th of November" poem to me because apparently he had it memorized.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, Star Trek convention. I'm outing my nerd self here.
No, that's fine, dude. Star Trek is awesome.
So Cal L, Superman himself, asked about your book collection. They asked if you could talk about your book collection. I mean, it is a massive book collection. Is it mostly like comics, or is it like reference, or is it a mixture?
So right here, all that you see back here, that's all animation reference, and everything that from my two biggest influences in how I draw in animation is classic Japanese cartoons like Osamu Tezuka, and a lot of rubber hose animation like the Fleischer Brothers, Abai Works, classic, a lot of Cuphead. This is actually a Cuphead shirt design I did when the game premiered. So so that's been a big influence in how I draw, and like you could see it in Guru, like it's kind of has a little bit of like those like kind of like Popeye arms, and a lot of my
like
collection
exaggerated body parts.
Yeah, exactly. And even in like something like this, like
right.
From thin to thick. But so I've got that. This is kind of like I'm into paranormal and folklore stuff. So that's kind of like this is like my research library. And then the ones at the end, I think one of them is all Hellboy and Del Toro. I have them together. because they're like peanut butter and jelly to me.
Yeah, man, I'm coming over. We're gonna have a book club.
Party.
Yeah.
And then I have like a children's book section, and then I have like I love collecting art of books, like of movies, how they're made, and then I have other stuff over there. So
That's such an awesome library, my friend.
yeah.
Like I said, we're gonna come over. We're gonna have Hellboy. We're gonna have a Hellboy book club.
I wonder if I could like
Uh-oh.
right now recommend a book.
I'm gonna see if you can keep, because if you ask me one question, I'll forget the next question. But I'm gonna see while you're looking for that book, what program are you using for your drawing?
Oh, I'm using right
your
now.
Quote unquote drawing, because I keep distracting you.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm using Adobe Sketch on the iPad Pro.
Right.
And it's one of the first programs, like when I got, that's another thing I guess I'll say to designers and artists out there. I love drawing on paper. Actually, my previous setup, I'll show you, this was my here before, this is kind of like, I used like this blue kind of pencil,
right.
And this helped me like rough out, like, I'm trying to think.
It's funny that I keep distracting you. I've been successfully screwing up your drawing this whole time.
No, it's okay.
This is your third one.
This is my. Hey, at least I'm drawing. I'm still drawing, right?
That's it. You're still drawing, but I'm loving it. So so while you think about that, you already mentioned, I guess you said Max Fleischer is one of them. Do you have any other artists that you really look up to, even to this day?
Oh,
by the way,
yeah.
Everyone has been concerned that your bookshelf is going to collapse. You're getting a lot of comments.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Actually, last year one of them did collapse. Yeah, I need to balance it out a little bit better.
Here we go.
An artist that besides somebody like Guillermo that I look up to, that I'm also friends with, is Jorge Gutierrez. He's a magnificent artist. He really has a really unique style.
I'm watching now. I'm fascinated. I'm afraid to ask you another question, but we're actually going to be wrapping up shortly. Is there
it's over already?
Yeah, dude. Listen, you're a good conversationalist, and that's how time goes by so fast. I hope
I didn't mess up. I hope I didn't say anything I wasn't supposed to say.
No, what are you saying that you weren't supposed to say?
No, I'm just kidding.
Come on, I don't know. I'm going to rewind it and see what secrets you've revealed. I'm going to, you're going to get the conspiracy theorists on the internet, trying to glean whatever information they can from you. But yeah, is there anything you want to plug before, aside from you?
Oh yeah. I guess I'm working on a short film. It's my first animated short film. It'll be about 10 minutes long. It's coming out hopefully later this year, and if not, early 2021. It's called Lucky Brave Sunshine. I actually have it's not the best poster or preview, but it's basically about a little, here, hold on. I'll go back to this. It's about a little space cowboy on going on an adventure. It's kind of a coming of age story, and I'm kind of putting all the things that I love, like rubber hose animation, paranormal, all the things that I've grown up with. I'm kind of taking all my experience from the last 10 years of working at animation and kind of putting it into the short, and also a lot of the things that I loved of my childhood. So that should be coming out. You can check it out on Instagram, #LuckyBraveSunshine, or just Lucky Brave, luckybrave.com. And then also, my figure. You can still get Guru del Toro on Unruly Industries shipping. And thank you for everybody who's gotten it. The most heartwarming thing out of this whole experience of doing this toy is people sending me pictures of their Guillermo del Toro collection and seeing this guy in the collection now. So that to me is like, really, it's cool. It's cool that Guillermo has the original, but for me, it's even more heartwarming that fans are also able to enjoy it as well.
It's like they
So-
share your love for it, and they have the love for the figure itself. So
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So,
all right, my friend. Well, I'll see you on Instagram.
all right. Yeah. Instagram, you can find me at Chogrin, all social media, Chogrin at Chogrin. Yeah, man, great talking to you. Thanks for having me.
And everybody stay tuned for the Chogrin and Alex, Hellboy book club is going to be happening soon. So,
Dude, I'm down. I've got,
All right.
I've got all the library editions. So,
perfect. I'm
all right.
ready. I'm ready.
All right.
All right, man. Thank you very much. And
See
I'll
you
see you when
guys.
you get back. See you
Bye.
next time. Bye. All right, everybody. That was awesome. When you get people that are into art, and you get people that share your art, your love and other types of art. It's just so great. You just get lost in it. And, look at this drawing. This was my drawing. It was just so similar to his because we have such a similar style, and he's always ripping off me. But now we're going to be welcoming our friends over at, whatchamacallit? Sorry, still reeling from that awesome conversation at Death Wish Coffee. We got Jeff Ayers from Death Wish Coffee, and we've got Matt Mullen, who's going to be an illustrating because we're going to have a new drawing prompt.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
What's up?
What's going on? Did I pronounce your name right? Is it Mullen or Mullen?
Mullen.
So I got it right.
You nailed it, man. Just
Look at this.
Killed
Look at this. You got a nice mustache. I got the beard. I mean, I wish I could get a mustache. It's like fancy like yours with this little goatee.
the key is shave. Like if you have a shaver, is like shaving like from here to about here at like a 7 and leaving this grow out, just like the edges. It just.
I used to do that, but with the beard, it would just get everything would just caught up. Get caught up. So I would have to pick one. And at one point, I just shaved right down the middle, and I just had just the tails growing really low. Everything else was gone. It was just a goatee with these long tails.
Dude, I wish I could grow a beard. It's just like right here and right here. Don't connect.
So all right. So listen, you gotta keep trying. So here. So what's going on, man? So you are an art director.
Correct.
Then tell us more about what you do, at Sideshow as an art director, and you're also going to be drawing with us today.
Yep. I art direct there. There are so many great artists at Sideshow that sometimes it's easy. You have amazing artists that can make a stick figure look good. So, but if there are cases where they need help drawing over or sculpting a little bit, I can do both.
We'll see that now. You've just outed it, so everyone, you heard it here. There's going to be a new premium format stick figure coming out. So I'm going to give you your prompt for your drawing while we wait for Jeff to get in here.
I'm here.
Jeff's here.
Aha!
What's going on, Jeff?
Hello.
This is Jeff, our friend from Death Wish Coffee. What's going on?
Yeah, I hope you guys. I've been following everything. It's been really good. I want to just say I'm stoked to be here, and I've been noticing in the comments that a lot of talent, a lot of drawing happening, but not a lot of drinking. So that's why I'm here.
That's it. See, that's the thing. We need more drinking happening. I mean, like, again, I'm going to be here for 3 hours, so I'm just drinking water. You know what I mean?
You got to go for the long haul. So
I had my coffee. You know what I mean? I had my coffee before. By the way, these mugs are out of control.
Awesome.
I love these mugs. So first thing I want to do is I want to get the drawing prompt ready to go. Let's see. What was this? Our drawing prompt is, Matt, I want you to draw a coffee reaper. Now, by the way, I'm a New Yorker, so I'm saying coffee like Kawfee. Coffee. Coffee, not coffee. Coffee. So we want you to draw a coffee reaper. So I want to talk about the giveaway that we have. We have this insane giveaway with all this amazing stuff from Death Wish. And a bunch of Unruly pieces, and to get a lot of points, to get extra points in the entries for the Gleam contest, we want you to draw your own version of a coffee reaper at home. So you're going to hashtag it with Death Wish Coffee Drink and Draw, and you're going to tag at Death Wish Coffee and Unruly Industries or Unruly Ind, and you're going to get more entries to enter to win the prize. So so let's get this underway. I want to see, here we go. We could see Matt's camera. Get the drawing
you're able to see the screen and everything, right?
Yep, we're able to see the screen.
Cool.
We're able to see the screen. Sorry, I got this weird keyboard over here. So Jeff, you're here now, and you could tell us a little more about Death Wish Coffee.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah. What do you want to know?
I mean, how did Death Wish come about? Because I mean, there's coffee, right? There's regular coffee, then there's, your cheaper coffee, but then you have Death Wish, this extremely, extremely strong coffee.
Yeah.
So what was the plan behind this?
Well, the
What
long and
was-
short of it is our founder and CEO, Mike Brown, he was running a failing coffee shop, as one
All right.
does. And he was looking for a way to, like make his coffee shop do a little bit better and also make his customers happier. And his customers would always come in and ask for like his strongest cup of coffee. And so this is back in like 2011. And he did a quick Google search of, world's strongest coffee. Like, what is the strongest coffee in the world kind of thing? And there was no such thing. So, light bulb. And he decided, I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to make a really good, strong cup of coffee. Because it wasn't always just about the caffeine. It wasn't like he wanted to make the strongest cup of coffee first and foremost. He wanted to make a really delicious tasting, clean cup of coffee, but also see if he could really up the caffeine content. So like a mad scientist, he worked in the basement of the coffee shop right here in upstate New York at Saratoga Springs, and figured out the way to blend different beans together in a roasting process, different temperatures, different ratios, and that kind of stuff, and came up with the secret recipe that would eventually be Death Wish coffee.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, listen, it's become a phenomenon. Like my friend who I'm staying with here was like, "Oh, you wait, Death Wish coffee? Wait, please, wait, bring me back some." I'm like, "All right, sweet." It's basically a phenomenon. So it worked out. So now I guess that kind of answers like what makes Death Wish different from other coffee companies. But I wonder if you want to elaborate more about that.
Well, we kind of broke the mold. Not to get too technical, but like there's two types of coffee beans. There's Robusta and there's Arabica. And for the longest time, most coffee was Arabica. And because Robusta is a little bit more of a bitter bean,
right.
And it's more of a wild bean. And when Mike was really coming up with this, he decided on blending the two to see if he could, get a different flavor profile and also up the caffeine content. And that was where the idea was born. And then, like I said, what's crazy for working for this company is like, I always tell this story. When I first started working for the company, I thought coffee came from the button that says coffee on your coffee machine. Like that's all. I didn't think any farther than that. I knew it was a coffee plant and that kind of thing, but like I just never thought any farther than that. And it's not just about the beans that you use; it's about where they're grown. The coffee belt is between, the two the two Cancer lines, the latitude lines there, longitude lines. Yeah, here I'm talking about stuff I don't know, but there is that coffee belt in the world, and if you go a degree above or below, depending on the soil content, depending on what that bean is, you're getting a different flavor profile. You're getting a different caffeine profile, and then on top of that, when you roast the bean, if you roast the bean to 100th of a degree in one way or the other, you're getting a different cup of coffee.
It's chemistry,
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing that how much science can go in. You think about Breaking Bad, making the perfect cup of coffee. It's like
exactly.
It's chemistry. It's science. So we have someone in the audience, David Sear. I think it's Sear, it's CYR. It says he has your Valentine's mug set and the Dropkick Murphys mug. By the way, Dropkick Murphys, love them. And getting the Valhalla Java mug. So that was a question I wanted to ask, because you guys are in the collectibles business, like specifically the collectible mugs business. I mean, if you wanted to talk about more than what got you into making these amazing collectible mugs, because I mean, these people obsess over these mugs. I mean, I see these things reselling for like crazy amounts of money.
So when the company started, Mike was like, I want to create a good cup of coffee, like I said, and then about a year or two after the company had been, getting its legs, he decided, him and his, it was literally like 2 or 3 employees at the time. And at that time, he basically was like, well, maybe we should supplant our sales with something else. And what do you put coffee in but a mug? And he found this incredible company, small business, Deneen Pottery, that hand throws all those mugs. They're all handmade and they're absolutely amazing. And they make mugs, not only for us, they make mugs for NASA, they make mugs for Renaissance fairs. They make mugs for all sorts of different stuff. It's amazing.
Right.
And we never thought in a million years that it would take off like it did, and they've become that collectible thing. And shout out to David in the comments there. The Valentine's Day mugs, we try to do yearly mugs around specific holidays like Valentine's. We love Halloween, obviously. We do Christmas mugs and that kind of thing. And then, with Dropkick Murphys, we've partnered with them now twice, because Dropkick Murphys are not only an incredible band, but such incredible guys. And they have their own charity that we've partnered with. And the entire mug sales that we do with Dropkick Murphys goes to help their charity. And we've been able to raise a lot of money to help out that, which is absolutely incredible.
Well, that's awesome. So Dave is also supporting, not only his coffee addiction, but he's also supporting, charities. And I love, and I'm also like a humongous Dropkick Murphys fans. Did you watch their quarantine concert?
So awesome.
Dude, I was moshing in my 1-bedroom apartment. Like, my girlfriend was videotaping me moshing. And she was like, "You're out of your mind." I had my Doc Martens on and everything. I was like enjoying that whole concert. Someone in the chats was asking, what are you drinking?
I am drinking my favorite Kentucky bourbon, Basil Hayden.
All right.
Yeah. I'm a simple guy.
Simple guy enjoying the basil. So let's see. How much coffee? Oh, we have 2 questions actually.
All right.
You have a lot of celebrity customers. Have you met any? And can you name a few? They want you to name drop.
Sure, I'll name drop. First of all, this is actually a perfect way to segue into what I do for the company.
Right.
I run all of our broadcasting. So we have a weekly podcast that comes out every single Thursday. It's called Fueled by Deathcast. The idea behind the show is that I talk to people from all walks of life about the same thing. We are all fueled by one thing. We're gonna die. I'm sorry, spoiler alert, but we're all fueled by death. But we want to leave the world a little different before we inevitably have to leave it for good. So everybody I talk to, I ask about what they do, why they do it, and what fuels their passion to keep going. And I've gotten to talk to some amazing people on that podcast, including a lot of our celebrity customers. One of the mugs that was mentioned was the Valhalla Java mug. We partnered early on with the company with Zakk Wylde, who is the guitarist of Ozzy Osbourne, also Black Label Society, and Zach Sabbath.
Big beard.
Yeah, he is a Viking for real. And we make Valhalla Java specifically in conjunction with Zakk Wylde, because he always wanted to have a coffee. Right. And I've had Zach on the show twice. In fact, the 100th episode of the show, I flew out to LA and recorded in his home studio, the Black Vatican. And it's incredible. I encourage all you guys to go check that out. But yeah, a lot of celebrity customers, a lot of people find us randomly, either through knowing friends, or we love fueling crews, either whether it's, entertainment crews or music crews, like, roadies and stuff like that. And so, bands, music is like fueled by coffee. So, we've got a ton of bands that like love to tout us, like Hatebreed and Cannibal Corpse and Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly and Guns N' Roses. And, all those guys are great. And, on the other side of that, on the entertainment side, so many people I've gotten to meet through the show and have, because of their love of coffee. I just had on the show a few episodes ago, Snap Wexley from Star Wars, Greg Grunberg. That was amazing. And he's been a fan of our coffee forever. Awesome. A fan of our coffee, and actually a giant supporter of Sideshow Collectibles. One of my good friends, Titus Welliver, has been on the show a couple times. Love Titus to death. And just so many other people. It's amazing how just hot bean water can bring people together, like
that's and when you think about it, right, it's like it's just chemistry making hot bean water, but it brings people together, because you know what I mean, seriously, I mean, it's basically a meme about how much everyone needs coffee, you know what I mean, because it's true. And just to to take coffee to another level, to make it even like a culture, that's what I feel like Death Wish has done, is turned coffee drinking into a culture. So
well, we're all about one thing. Like, again, at the end of the day, sure, we're a coffee company and we make coffee. We make a good cup of coffee. And if you don't believe me, here's a shameless plug. We do have 100% no bullshit guarantee. Like you can buy our coffee, go to deathwishcoffee.com or Amazon, or go find it in your local store. And if you don't like it, we'll help you out. We'll refund you. But we're pretty confident that you're going to dig it. But we're all about fueling your passion. That's really what it's about. It's not just about the cup of coffee. We want to be, when you wake up in the morning, we obviously want to be that cup of coffee that you pour that first thing, you know, but we want to be the clothes on your back. We want to be the entertainment you consume. We want to be the meme that you share. We want to be with you through your day, whether it's going to your job or doing the thing that you love, the hobby that you've got. That's what we're all about. We want to be with you, fueling what you're passionate about.
And you know, and it works because honestly, like I said, it's become like its own culture. You know what I mean? Death Wish culture. So, you know, it's like Sideshow Collectibles. It's a name. It's a name that becomes like a culture, an idea, a community. And it's, you know, you wouldn't, like you said, you wouldn't think that hot bean water would make a community. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
it's amazing.
Exactly.
But you know, here's the thing. Here's the thing that people may not know. I need to know about your coffee going to space.
Okay.
I need to know how, because I love space. I'm a sci-fi guy. I'm a Star Trek guy. You know, Janeway is always talking about coffee. I need to know about Death Wish going to space.
So when I got the job with Death Wish, and I started doing the podcast, I created a list right off the get-go of white whales, of people like, you know, like the biggest celebrity names, the craziest guests I could ever think of that I would love to get on the show one day, right? So at the top of that list was an astronaut. And I reached out to an astronaut I found online. Her name was Nicole Stott. She was recently retired NASA astronaut, spent over 100 days on the International Space Station. She's the first person ever to paint in space. And I just cold emailed her. I was like, hey, I'm working for this coffee company you've never heard of on a podcast you've definitely never heard of. Would you like to be a guest? And she said, yes. So I had her on. It was like episode 18, the first time I had her on. And my co-host and I at the time talked to her about going out on a spacewalk. And when she came back in from being out on a spacewalk, she said it takes over an hour to get out of the spacesuit and get acclimated back into the space station. And she said the first thing she wants is a strong cup of coffee. And it never dawned on me. I was like, you drink coffee in space? And she's like, hell yeah, you do. And my co-host said jokingly, wouldn't it be great if we got Death Wish coffee in space? And she's like, that's a great idea. And I was like, that's the greatest soundbite ever. Thank you so much. My boss is going to be so happy. Cut to a year later. This is 2018. She calls me up on the phone because we had been friends for a little bit then. She calls me up on the phone. She says, one of my good friends, who's also an astronaut, Serena Anyan Chancellor, is going up to the International Space Station as part of Expedition 56. I want to send her some of my favorite coffee in her care package. And I was like, that's amazing. How do we do this? So she got me a hold of NASA Food Labs. And I still can't believe I get to say this sentence. I called NASA Food Labs and worked with them on our as of yet released instant coffee version, because you have to send up, you know, freeze dried stuff to space. And we were developing it. It was an R&D at the time, but NASA helped us develop it. They liked it so much that they put it in the actual stores of the full crew. 60 packs of Death Wish coffee rocketed up to the International Space Station on June 28th, 2018. I got to go down to Cape Canaveral in Florida and watch the SpaceX rocket take it up to space. And they all enjoyed Death Wish, and it blows my mind. Insane. So we are the strongest coffee in the galaxy.
Yeah, right now you are the strongest coffee in the galaxy. That is insane. That is definitely bragging rights that most other people don't have. Real quick, I wanted to talk to Matt, who, by the way, this drawing is absolutely crazy.
It's so sick.
We had questions about what you're using to draw, which looks like, is that Adobe?
Yep, it's Photoshop. I'm a traditional artist by heart, so it took me forever to kind of find replicated, you know, paper and pencil. And so there's a specific brush that I found that looks crazy like this, but when you shrink it down, it has that breakaway like a lead. And I just simply had a scan piece to Bristol, so I can just, you know,
wow, perfect.
If I need to draw something traditionally and then bring it in and then like fix it up or put something in it, this is how I do it.
I'm so glad you explained that, because the entire time I'm watching you do this and I'm like, my brain's like, that's not a pencil, but it looks like a pencil. How is that a pencil?
How is it a pencil, but also a computer?
But
yeah, you're getting a lot of love for this drawing in the chats. Getting a lot of love, my friend.
Thanks so much.
And does that Death Wish Reaper only drink his coffee black?
Yeah, definitely. Black is
Like his soul, right?
exactly 1,000 midnights in a coffin.
Let's see. I wanted to talk about Odin Force because you recently put out a comic book called Odin Force. Jeff, can you tell us more about that? How you guys got involved and where people can find that?
Sure. So before I started working for the company, I actually consulted with the company because Mike, the owner of the company, loves different communities. And like I said, we're all about fueling people's passions. And he loves getting into different communities. But his main ethos is like, he never wants to be for lack of a better term, never wants to be a poser. We don't want to just show up and be like, hello, fellow kids. You know, like we don't want to do any of that. We really want to organically be a part of what you're passionate about. And one of the communities he was looking to break into was the comic book industry. And before I started working for the company, about a year and a half before, I was working for like a geek website. I was reviewing comic books and movies and you know, interviewing people for podcasts and stuff like that. And so I gained a lot of contacts within the comic book community at the time. So I brought Mike down to New York Comic Con in 2015. And I was like, look at this vast amount of people. These could be your people, kind of thing. And I introduced him to a lot of different, you know, creators that I knew. And it dawned on him, he was like, I would love for Death Wish to make a comic book. And I was like, great idea. First and foremost, don't make Captain Coffee and the Coffeeteers go find the magic coffee bean, because that's dumb. So many businesses have tried to do it. I always tell the story and laugh about I think it was 2016 at Comic-Con, KFC partnered with the DC, and they did the Justice League have to save Colonel Sanders, and nobody got the book because nobody cares. Like, you know,
it's a little too gimmicky for people.
Exactly. You don't want to be a gimmick. So we partnered with incredible and legendary comic book writer Ron Mars. Wow, He is known for creating Kyle Rayner, the Green Lantern. He's also known for his work, Silver Surfer, DC vs. Marvel, all of that stuff. And he put a team together. He put artist Rick Leonardi, who's known for Spider-Man and X-Men and all that kind of stuff. And we got cover artist Joe Jusko, who did all the Marvel Masterworks cards back in the 90s to do these covers. We've since now come out with 3 issues. They're all available for free download digitally on deathwishcoffee.com/comics. Super easy. And issue 4 is in the works right now. It'll be coming out later this year. And it all stemmed from, in 2015, we were the smallest business ever to win a commercial in the Super Bowl. And we won a commercial in the Super Bowl through a Small Business Big Game Intuit competition. Right. And they paid for the whole thing. And the idea was, real quick, a bunch of Vikings rowing a ship through a storm, and they go over a waterfall, and the camera pans out, and it's not a waterfall at all. It's a guy drinking a cup of coffee, and it says Death Wish Coffee, right? Yeah. But we thought, after talking with Ron, what if these Vikings actually went over a waterfall and then went on adventures and fought monsters? Because what's better than Vikings fighting monsters, right?
Right.
So 100%, all 3 of those issues is about that. And in fact, issue 3, we just introduced our big bad, our Thanos, if you will, of the entire deal. And issue 4, it's going to get even crazier. So I can't wait.
Nice. And so it's all available, you said, on deathwishcoffee.com/comic.
Yep. When we release them in print form, but we release them as a limited freebie on Death Wish Coffee. And then they sell out pretty quick. So they're out there. You can find them on eBay and stuff like that. And the idea is, fingers crossed, when we finish the story in either issue 5 or 6, we're going to do like a collected trade, which is going to be really rad. I can't wait to do that.
And I love that about Death Wish is that again, you understand collector community with the mugs, with the comics, with the, you know what I mean? Again, like you said, you don't want to be a poser. I'm like, you're doing it right. You know what I mean? You're doing it the right way.
Speaking of collector community, speaking of the contest that's going on right now with Unruly and Death Wish, so many great prizes from Unruly, but with Death Wish as well, not only going to get the coffee, not only going to get our collectible mugs, but we also came out with a very limited edition collectible pin set. And I know all you Sideshow fans out there love your pins. So I threw one of those in there as well, because they came out really great.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, pin collecting is a big thing, especially with Sideshow collectors. I mean, you got to see my pin. I have pin boards that I still have to go on the wall. So I better get some of those pins, my friend. I don't know.
All right, make it happen. You know a guy.
I know a guy. I'm getting some of those pins. Let's see. I want to see some comments here. We had someone asked, "What comic book villain drinks Death Wish coffee for sure?" It was in all capital letters, for sure. We no doubts comic book villain.
Okay, if we're going DC, it's Lobo, 100%.
Nice,
Because
Lobo.
Lobo definitely needs his caffeine, and
Absolutely.
probably his motorcycle runs on Death Wish. I would definitely say that.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Thank you for
Like
picking Lobo, by the way, because he is one of my favorite characters of all time.
Good. Mine too. Mine too.
Yeah.
Marvel, it's a little harder. I would honestly say, low key, not Loki, but low key, who would drink Death Wish, I think would be Victor Von Doom. I think Von Doom would be like, sipping on Death Wish just to make sure that he's trying to be one step ahead of Reed at all times, but he never is.
I know. Yeah, it's listen, he has the caffeine, he just doesn't have, he has too much arrogance behind it. You know what I mean? But how does he take his coffee though? Extra sweet?
Von Doom definitely takes it extra sweet. Lobo takes it cold, and not cold brew. He literally brews it hot and waits until it's cold and then drinks it.
This is like the cold darkness of space.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it all came around back to space.
And I'm gonna triple down on it and go away from Marvel and DC. Go over to a different property. We'll go to Walking Dead. Negan, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Before he smashes someone's head in, yeah, he absolutely does.
He needs it. He's got to keep swinging that bat.
And you know what? I think Hellboy would probably drink it too. I mean, I'm a very big Hellboy fan. I think Hellboy would definitely drink Death Wish
I don't consider Hellboy a villain though.
Well, yeah, not a villain, but he's a half demon. You know what I mean? So he's got that. He's got that part. Well, But let's see. And I had one other question because it's a drink and draw. So you're drinking. Matt's drawing, but I want to know if you have any recommended coffee cocktails.
Like I said, I'm a simple guy. You see, I'm drinking bourbon straight. Yeah. So if we're talking cold coffee, White Russian, 100%. Add a little bit of Death Wish cold brew into your normal White Russian. Really, really good. If we're talking hot coffee, Irish coffee, right there. Whiskey and coffee. That's all you need.
I do. Yeah. My drink, whenever everyone decided when I was at a wedding once what my drink was, and it was a White Russian, and it worked really well for me. I got a question about Superman. Is Death Wish coffee too strong for Superman? It's going to be one of our last questions because I realize the time's running out, going so fast here. But
I don't think so. I think, whereas we boast having double the caffeine of a normal cup of coffee, right? So like for you or I, we're going to feel it. I feel like, superheroes like Superman or Wolverine or Captain America, these people who have, super metabolisms, I think they're just going to drink it and be like, well, that's just a normal cup of coffee, like I don't think I think it'd be the opposite. I don't think it would be too strong. I think it would be just kind of normal. Whereas for you and I, maybe it's a little strong.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe Superman just takes it, drinks, grinds it up and just with a spoon, he just eats the crystals, eats the ground up beets right away.
True. He can grind it. He could chew it fast enough that it could grind into coffee.
That's it, in
with
his
his
mouth.
Saliva. Yeah.
All right. I just want to take a real quick look because we got to wrap up, and it was awesome talking to you about all this. And I just want to see Matt's drawing real quick because that thing is insane. And
it's amazing.
It's such an amazing drawing. And everyone just remember, we do have the Gleam giveaway where if you draw your version of the Coffee Reaper, you will get a lot of extra points in that entry for this awesome prize pack, which includes this awesome mug and those pins.
So many cool things in that prize pack, including all the Unruly stuff. And I got to say, if anybody out there is doing this and drawing their own Coffee Reaper, tag Death Wish Coffee in it. We want to see it. We'll repost you guys. It's like, we love Sideshow Collectibles and your entire community so much.
That's awesome. I'm obsessed with this drawing. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for bringing this together. Thank you, Death Wish Coffee, and I expect the premium format of that to show up at my house soon, Matt. Okay, all right. I expect that to come by my house, but thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you, Matt. This is amazing. You guys got so much love in the chats, and Paul's excited also because he's a big DC fan, so he loves the Lobo reference. So
yes,
but thank you very much, and I'll see you online, and I'm gonna keep on drinking my Death Wish.
Awesome. Have a wonderful rest of the con, guys.
Thank you. See you later, guys.
All right.
Wow, this is a prize pack, by the way. All the prizes you guys are, whoever wins, you know, because you're gonna be entering for a chance to win this pack. Whoever gets this, I mean, this mug itself is its own like insane collectible. But I mean, now we have my friend coming up soon. Oh, someone wants to win that art. Okay, no, you can't win that art. It's for me. But we have my buddy, everyone's buddy, the wonderful Tracy Tubera coming in here. Oh my God! I knew you were gonna have a background, dude. Do you have a fan on? Do you have a fan on?
Alex, you interrupted me on my vacation here
You're
in
the
this
worst.
beautiful island. Because Southern California is like so sunny right now. It's unbelievable.
Oh
that
my!
I took time on my busy schedule to
You
draw
are.
on the beach.
You are the worst, but you're also the best. Oh my God! Do you have a fan, or are you shaking your head? Why is your hair moving?
That's the background, but I think my hair just was like, it's like clipping me off on the edges. So like
Oh
it
my
just
God.
looks like there's
Oh,
wind.
so it looks like it's moving. I
Yeah, it
really
looks like it's
thought
moving.
you seemed like the type to put a fan in there just for extra effect. That's why I was like, you are the worst. That's amazing. What's up, man?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm good. What are you going to be drawing something? What is he? Dude, I can't, with this background, I can't see what you're doing, and your hand just disappeared into the tree. I was like, why are you going to pull the tree down?
Well, out of the tree, I pulled out my awesome Death Wish coffee mug.
Nice.
So, I just had to take a sip since this is drink and draw.
This is drink. What's in there? Is
Oh,
it just
John,
coffee?
It was coffee earlier in the day, but since
okay.
it is a little bit later in the evening, I don't want too much coffee to keep me up.
Yeah.
But it has a little bit of something in there, a little bit of kick. So,
I mean, you could tell us. Come on, listen, everyone.
There's a
Listen.
little bit of
What is it? Rum?
it's a little rum and coke, my friend. A little rum and
Rum
coke.
and Coke.
Because
Listen.
we're out here in the islands, so you can have a little bit of rum and coke.
Oh my God, you're disappearing into your island getaway, dude. You're killing me.
Oh my gosh.
You are killing me right now. So I'm gonna give you a drawing prompt, but I mean, on the beach, I don't even know if you have any paper.
Oh my God, I got paper. I
All
set
right,
up
good.
a second camera. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I hope it does. So
turn it on,
it's
man.
point-
Whatever you want.
it's on. I think it's on. Let me check real quick. I think it should be on. Oh wait.
Just it better be on its own background of sand. That's all I'm just gonna say. So while you're trying to figure out what you're doing,
Is it
all
working?
right, make sure you shut the audio off because we don't want no echoes. So I'm gonna tell you your drawing prompt. Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, as I'm looking.
No, it's fine. But I'm just letting you know that you're going to be drawing something things that shouldn't be wearing sneakers.
Things that shouldn't be what?
Something that shouldn't be wearing sneakers. Come on.
I don't think this thing is gonna. I'm
It's
trying
a
to
nice
flip the
ceiling you
camera.
got there.
I know. I'm trying to flip the camera around. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Oh my God. So now we know you're lying. You're not on a beach.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I totally lied to you guys this whole time.
Oh my goodness. Well, while he's
I got
doing
rid
that,
of
while he's fixing that, I'll just remind everybody that if you are drinking at home, please drink responsibly and make sure you are of age. The mini
Here you go.
Tracy, is that the mini Tracy?
Oh yeah, check it out.
You're killing me.
Which camera am I showing it to? This one.
That one. Yeah, you're showing it to that one. Oh my gosh, this mini Tracy.
So the cool guys at Co-Create did a 3D scan of me last year at DesignerCon, and
Oh no, I'm losing you.
shout out to Co-Create guys. But it's hilarious. It's hilarious that they just gave this to me and like, oh, my head's gone. Which way? There you go. Oh, the head's gone. There you go. And dude, it looks exactly like me. They did such a great job of this little 3D scan.
You know what's
There
so
you go.
funny is that when you posted that picture of you with your figures, I was like, oh, nice Photoshop job. I didn't realize it was actually the miniature you.
It's so funny. So my wife said the same thing. Not my wife, someone else said that to me. I forgot who it was, but they're like, man, I thought that was like you photoshopped in with your toys.
Yeah.
And someone else thought, oh, I thought they made life-size versions of your toys. I'm like, nope, I wish they did, but they didn't.
No, they just made toy-sized version
It
of a
was a
life-size
cool little
person.
3D little dude. Yeah.
So you have a stick
Exactly,
to
yeah.
you have a stick to draw in the sand? Because I mean you're clearly on a beach.
Yes, a stick to draw on the sand. I do.
Oh my God. Oh dude, you're killing me.
So something that shouldn't have sneakers?
Yeah.
Oh
Something
my
that
gosh.
shouldn't draw something that shouldn't be wearing sneakers. There's a lot of things out there. You just got to pick one.
That's what's so sad. Is like in my mind, everything wears sneakers. Let me move the keyboard out of the way real quick.
All right.
Watch out,
So,
little Tracy.
so draw
So how's
something.
everything been going, man?
Everything's been, listen, it's a con. Even though it's a virtual con, you would think that like it's a virtual con, you wouldn't get like it, but like, you know, you're up and you're always like, you're online and you're seeing what's going on. And you're like, oh, I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock so I can see the first thing. And I want to see the last thing. And here we are, we're running out the clock now till like, you know, it's 7:30 at night. I've been going since like 5:30 this morning. Like, yeah. So I'm getting full con mode. I've eaten like a potato chip all day, just like at con.
Oh man. That is the one thing I do not miss about the con, about not eating or forgetting to eat because you're so excited about everything else that's going on.
Yeah. And it's like you don't sleep
I'm
because you're
thinking,
so
what?
energetic.
Exactly. What doesn't have sneakers? You literally have stumped me because in my mind, I swear to God, everything has
Oh
sneakers
my
on.
gosh. I thought I was giving you an easy one.
It's so crazy. All right, I got one.
All
Why
right.
not?
So
This is-
hold on.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm going to get some questions while I'm going to get some questions from the audience because people are cracking up already. Ocean Man Land on YouTube. What is your favorite thing to draw?
Honestly, I guess it goes back to sneakers. I love drawing sneakers. I love drawing combo characters. I love drawing random funny stuff. Yeah, I love to draw anything really, but specifically think all day, every day I can draw combo characters all the time.
All right.
I'm
See,
gonna
that wasn't so hard.
bypass the pencil. It was hard. I'm gonna bypass the pencil here, Alex, and just go straight to the Sharpie. That's how
Oh, you're
crazy it is tonight.
dedicated.
I'm committed right here, full on committed.
All
To
right,
what?
'cause
I don't
Sierra
know.
on Facebook gave you a suggestion of, you know, things that exist because basically most things that exist don't wear sneakers. So Sierra said maybe you draw a turtle in shoes. I don't know because everyone's getting beach vibes from you right now. And
Oh yeah, beach vibe.
who is Urban Aztec? Who's this Urban Aztec that's wants to ask you about when you grew up in Hawaii together?
I mean, he's so urban.
He's so-
Urban Aztec, my friend, aka Jesse Hernandez. Check
Jesse
out Jesse. I'm
Hernandez.
at home. I'm at home on the islands where we met.
Aw.
The funny story about Jesse is that when I first met him, I thought he was Hawaiian. I thought he was Samoan, Polynesian, or something, or
Right.
even Filipino. So for the longest time, I just never asked him. I don't know why,
Mhm.
and I just assumed it. And then one day he told me he wasn't. I'm like, I was shocked. But then we
Oh,
decided, hey, we're gonna just make up this story that we met each other, years ago on the islands, and that's what
That's
we
it.
did.
Where you both
That's what
grew
we
up in the
did.
islands.
Exactly. We both grew up on the islands. Well,
Uh,
here we go. We're going full committed here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
I know that's crazy. I mean, that takes guts. That takes guts. All right, so let me keep throwing things at you.
Go ahead.
Here's a question. Which Marvel character? I'm going to ask you a question about Marvel and DC. So this is a
Go
two-part
for it.
question. What Marvel character has the largest and most elaborate sneaker collection, obviously in your head, and where do they display them?
Ooh, it's a good one. Currently I would have to go with, this might be a tie because I feel as if the only Marvel character now who wears sneakers part of their costume would be Iron Fist, because they
Iron Fist.
recently drawn Iron Fist to wear like a tracksuit, very Game of Death tracksuit,
Yeah.
and they've given him kind of like Adidas looking or Asics looking like sneakers. So I feel as if he would have a kind of a sneaker collection, more athletic trainers than anything.
Yeah.
But then I'd have to go back to someone at a costume. I'd say Miles might have a good collection. Miles Morales might have a good collection that he just doesn't wear, with the spider suit, because it doesn't work with the spider suit.
No, I mean, so where? Okay, so where would they display them?
I think Danny Rand might display him in his cool little dojo,
Mhm.
and Miles might just do it in his little apartment. Or is he in school now? He's probably in school, so he'd probably be in his dorm room or something.
Yeah. And here's a little piece of trivia, because you're saying they would have the largest and most elaborate collection. Do you know who owns the largest sneaker collection in the world?
I actually do not.
It's
Because many people. Oh, God, you have the answer? Oh, go ahead, let me hear
I
it.
actually have the answer. No, but you can take a guess.
I honestly, I have no idea. Just because it's one of those things where everyone says they have a huge collection, And
Yeah.
it's like you could never really. How do you fact check that? You know what I mean? But I guess someone has, and
I
know.
fact checked it, so I'm letting you know.
Oh.
It's actually three sisters. They're like the three daughters of this like super rich real estate guy, and it's Ariana, Dresden, and Dakota Peters, and they own over 6,000 pairs of sneakers.
That's crazy to me. I mean, I love sneakers. I will
You're a
collect
collector.
sneakers. I'm a collector. I'll collect probably forever. But it's one of those things where after a while you get tired of some of the old ones, or they just, sneakers aren't made to last forever. So
Right.
eventually you got to get rid of them, or in my case, if I get tired of them, I donate them.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, dude, 6,000 pairs. That's crazy.
Listen, I went to a house once that the guy had about like 3,000. What do you call it? Those giant German mugs the German Steins. He had like 3,000 of those from like 2 inches tall to like 3 feet tall. So let's see, we got some other questions from the audience. What is the most challenging part of translating 2D to 3D? So I know you don't actually do the sculpting, but what is the most challenging part of drawing for translation to 3D?
I think the most challenging thing is, especially if you're used to drawing 2D your whole career, for a majority of time, you have to be able to understand that, hey, your 2D drawing has a back to it, on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, because you're just looking at it 2D, it's on a paper. That's it. You only see one side, which is usually at the front.
Right.
You have to understand there's like there's a left side, a right side, a back view to it. And even like those in between sides, you have to get used to knowing that those are there. Right. So especially when you do like turnarounds, you got to be able to understand the way, if you drew a guy posed one way, this is what it's going to look like from the side, from the back, that type of thing.
Okay. All right. So here's another question. What is the most expensive pair you own? Everyone wants to know about your sneaker collection, man. You better give out your address.
I know. The people are going to probably be mad at this, but the most expensive pair of shoes I own, I think, are a pair of shoes I won in a contest.
Really?
Like, on Instagram, they'll have contests where like, hey, tag 5 people, whatever, in your shoe size, and we'll randomly pick you and you'll win.
Yeah.
So I was lucky to win a pair of some Cause Jordan 4s, and the gray ones. And it was because randomly, like the night before this contest was going to end, I saw it on my feed in Instagram right before I went to bed. And I said, hey, screw it. I'll put my name, tag friends, whatever. And I did it. And then sure enough, the next day I won. And everyone's like, what? No way you won that.
Especially the last minute entry must have pissed everybody off.
Oh, yeah. When I tell people the story like that, they're like, that's ridiculous. It's so dumb. And it's one of those things where I've always been like a sneaker collector where I always wear my sneakers. So the minute I got them, put them on, I wore them. And everyone was like, you're wearing them. I was like, why wouldn't I wear them? They're sneakers.
Yeah, and they were free.
They were free. And plus, they were free.
Yeah.
And they're dope. I love them. And I bet they're probably still worth some money, even though they've been worn a couple times.
Well, let's take some auction from the audience. No, just kidding, please. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
That would be great. So Just or Justin or Judy. Okay, someone misspelled that. So right. Judy on YouTube, what would you say your big break in art was?
I'll say 2. Can I give 2 answers to that?
Sure. There's no rules.
There's no.
Drink and draw.
We're very unruly here.
Yeah, we're so unruly.
Eric loves that when I do that. My first big break into art where I realized, hey, I can get paid to do art was when I drew a picture of No Doubt. This is before No Doubt became huge. Yeah. I grew up in the area of Pomona, Southern California, close to OC. Yeah. So I think for a summer I was like, going to a lot of their concerts, whatever. And I said, hey, I want to draw a picture of like No Doubt. I drew a picture of them. My best friend happened to be a friend of another friend who knew like one of the trumpet players in the band. Yeah. And he just showed them my drawing and they loved it. And they're like, hey, can we use it for a concert bill for the very first show at, what's it called? In Pomona and on 2nd Street. It's like Golden Voices. Like it was like, whatever.
If it's not in New York, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, sorry. So like they basically used it for the concert bill. And I got paid for it. They gave me a couple $100 for it. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. So like, that was kind of like my first big break. And that made me super happy. I was jazzed and I realized, I can make a career out of this where I can get paid. Second, honestly, would have to be, and this is like no bullshit, is working with Sideshow. Just because,
You're
up
such an
until
ass
working with
kisser.
Sideshow, hey, come on, Alex, I'm being serious here. A little serious, but
No, I know.
maybe a little, maybe a little bit kissing ass, a little bit, but
No,
it was
listen.
the case. Yeah, no, honestly, it was like prior to working with Sideshow, I was doing a lot of like what people considered, they would consider fan art, because I was doing everything very, unofficially licensed type of stuff, unlicensed stuff. But art that I did out of my love for the characters I was doing them for, you know what I mean? And I was still doing my superheroes and sneakers, but it was just because I was doing it out of love for those characters, for those sneakers and whatnot. And that one day at DesignerCon, where Greg, one of the owners of Sideshow, came by the booth, and he happened to see my stuff and he just asked me all these questions. And, long story short, he ends up asking me to do some Unruly toys. And
That's awesome.
that honestly was one of my biggest breaks. Where like, hey, dude, I finally made it where I'm actually doing officially licensed stuff with like some companies who I've grown up loving their characters. First
Right.
off being Marvel, and then DC, and hopefully more stuff to come. But at the same time, I was so jazzed, man. I was like, wow, it's happening. My nerd dreams are coming true.
Right, because you grow up, you love to draw, you love. I'm assuming you love toys, you love Marvel, you love DC, and now you get to put all that together, and it's yours. You know what I mean? So I can understand that. Obviously, I'm going to break your chops still, but
Oh no, go ahead.
So
Man.
sappy.
But it is one of those things where, like you said, like growing up being a comic book collector, because I loved comics. Like I still love comics to this day. I still read comic books, but collecting comic books, collecting toys growing up, it's just one of those weird things where like it all came together. And like you said, it was creating this art of these characters in my style. It's like, oh my god, like I was so jazzed when I first saw the first Unruly toys come out. I was so pumped. I was like, this is great.
That's awesome. I can't even imagine what a good feeling that is. You know what I mean? Let's see.
It's
We're getting a
almost-
lot of questions, man. You're getting a lot of questions
Wow.
in the thing here.
Awesome.
Darth Snoopy wants to know everyone's going to ask you about sneakers because we know you love sneakers. What's the
geez,
oldest
all right.
pair you still have in your collection?
Oldest pair. It's a good one. It's so funny. This would go back to my skateboarding days.
Yeah.
I still have an old pair of DC shoes. I'm almost positive there's somewhere in storage. I'm almost positive I still have them. But a pair of the original DC Lynx when they first came out.
Yeah.
And I used to skate a lot, and when I used to skate, it was always DC shoes until I switched over eventually to like Nike SBs. But like it was always DC shoes, and I still have them somewhere where they're all worn, torn up, and I just like wanted to hold on to them because they had so many memories attached to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's like the oldest pair of sneakers I have. Sorry if it's not like some cool fancy sneakers, but like they're cool skateboarding shoes that I loved.
It's a piece that means something to you. Some people have movies that are pretty terrible that mean a lot to them because of the memories that they have. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let's see. Someone loves your Breaking Bad stuff. That's a comment. Wade Wilson, I guess because you've designed shoes for him, wants to know what started your collecting with sneakers, because all of us are collectors. We all everyone who comes together here, whether it's art, whether it's these coffee mugs, these toys, everyone starts with something. So like, what started your sneaker collection?
I think it was honestly skateboarding, because the fact that like when you skateboard, you go through shoes pretty fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where like I would collect, because prior to that, even when I was playing basketball as a little kid, I would get some basketball shoes, but like I wouldn't run through them as much as I would through skateboarding. Then I think it became a case of when you get older and you start making that money, and you're like money for yourself, that you just start wanting to buy more shoes and buy more stuff.
Yeah.
I think when I was doing pretty decent, making enough money, I was like, oh man, I'll start buying more Jordans, like Jordans that I couldn't afford when I was a little kid. And it feels like that's a lot of things that with shoe collectors nowadays who are kind of like around my age, especially why they buy a lot of retro shoes, is because when I was younger, my mom bought me a pair or something, or I couldn't afford that pair, so like they're re-releasing now, so I want to buy them.
Yeah.
But it's funny, relating back to a movie, it was Back to the Future 2. that really
Yeah.
made me want shoes because the Nike Imagine those shoes are like, oh my God, those are amazing.
Dude,
Power laces.
dude, when they released those shoes, dude, I mean, the internet like imploded in on itself. You know what I mean? Those and the Ripley shoes. The Ripley shoes are the ones that I want because I was always a big Alien fan. But I actually bought a pair of PF Flyers because I was like, if I can't have the shoes from Aliens, I'm just gonna get the PF Flyers from Alien. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
own a pair of those. But yeah, someone on Twitch said sneakers are sculptures for your feet.
They are. I totally agree.
Let's see. We had something else. What
Wait,
is your
wait,
favorite comic book series?
Ooh, that's a great question.
We haven't gotten to any of my questions, by the way. We're just strictly
really?
on
Oh,
audience questions.
Greatest. Okay, this is greatest series.
Who's your favorite? Could be a mini series, could be one issue.
Jeez. You know, I'll go with the current one that I loved reading was Mr. Miracle by Tom King. That
The art on
series
that was insane too.
The art was unbelievable. The story blew my mind. Like
Yeah.
I was really like, he got me where like every issue I wanted to know what was going to happen. And every time like there was a break, it's like, no, I want the next issue to come out. And prior to that, I was a fan of his when he did the Grayson series because my favorite comic character is Dick Grayson. I love Nightwing, Robin, Dick Grayson, love that character.
Your kids.
when they
named,
took-
you know,
Yeah, my kids are named after like the first 3 Robins, but their secret identities.
Yeah.
But yeah, that series, I loved it because one, it was a brand new take on that character where he becomes a super spy. And he wrote that in such a really smart and sharp way where I was coming back every issue.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. I like that one. Trying to think of other good ones, man. I getting put on the spot like this is so crazy, especially with comic books because there's so
I
many that
love
are going
doing
through
it
my
to
head.
you. I love doing that to you because it works on you every time. Because from the beginning, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like shake you up. Like you're never going to finish that drawing because of me.
I'm
By
never
the way,
going. Yeah.
Paul, who's quiet and you can't hear him. He's not doing his disembodied voice thing. Paul is in the chats. He's very excited about this, about you talking about these comics.
Oh, like, dude, I'm trying to think of other comics right now. Like, I'll always go back to Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Mhm.
You know, the very first Crisis with George Perez. That art blew my mind as a kid. And I remember reading. The funny thing about my comic book collecting history is that like I started collecting comic books because I went to the public library where I grew up, and they had a comic book bin. And that's when I first started collecting comic books because I would just read the comics that they had there.
Right.
But I remember it was one of the issues in the middle. So like, you know, Crisis was a maxi series, so it was 12 issues. I think it was like 7 or like it was some random number. And I'm like, what is happening? Like I needed to know how it started, why I got to that point.
Yeah, because you're getting to like some heavy stuff, and you need to know what's the genesis of this. How did this happen?
Yes, like why is there an old Superman? Why is there a young Superman? And it's like one of those weird things where like I was thrust into the middle of the story that had such amazing art by George Perez, whereas like I needed to find out the rest. And then again, it became one of those things where once I started making money, had to go back and find the back issues, and read it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's one of my prized possessions as a comic collector. I have a Crisis on Infinite Earths issue 1, pretty decent condition. Yeah,
Nice,
pretty decent condition.
That was a very ambitious, like all those covers that they did with the with all the heads in the back. Like that was,
yes,
that must have taken so long. I'm exhausted just thinking about all that drawing. Let's see. Are you more about comfort or style with shoes? Are you a function or fashion guy with sneakers?
This was so funny in my older age, and now that I've become like a dad. Oh, I've been a dad for like 8 years, but I'm all about comfort. But I don't want the old school dad shoes, the old Nike Monarchs where I'm like, mowing my lawn in those old white shoes.
Yeah.
I want cool looking like comfort shoes. So like I'm into a lot of runners, casual running type shoes. Anything that has a nice foam, like cushiony outsole to it, I'll buy like crazy. Just because like I need comfort. I need comfort while I'm chasing my kids, man.
That's it, man. Listen.
Yeah.
No one's blaming you. No one's blaming you. Hold on, let's see. So you're in Hawaii now. Obviously, you're on your Hawaiian vacation. So something I like to ask artists is how much does where you're from inform your art?
For me, it's a lot. Like
Yeah.
my art style literally is a mix of all the graffiti that I saw growing up where I grew up. Because a lot of my friends who were older were all the graffiti artists, and like they wanted to they would show me their black books, and I'd look at everything they drew, and it blew my mind because it's one of those things where prior to seeing graffiti art, the only art I knew of was comic books and animation, cartoons,
Right.
kind of almost traditional type stuff. But then seeing graffiti art blew my mind just because how like they would push perspective like in a crazier way than most people wouldn't. The proportions were all different for characters, for letters, and like that blew my mind. I loved it. And then it was because of graffiti, my friends who loved graffiti, and they were influenced by anime, that they brought anime into my life and showed me anime. And that, when I feel as if anybody who watches anime for the first time, it blows their mind. Like, what? A cartoon can be that cool? Can do that? So that growing up in that area where those friends pushed me to like, create a style that, what I have now, where it's a mix of comic book art, graffiti, and anime. All those cool rad things that I love growing up.
I find that's a common denominator in designer toys as well, is that that it's a mixture of that love. I mean that sneakerhead culture, anime, and cartoons and comic books and graffiti all come together, and that's why I find that's you see a lot of that as a common point in designer toys and all this such and illustration. You know what I mean? That's why I find it fascinating, like where you're from could inform that so much,
Yeah,
Right,
totally agree.
I'm still trying to figure out what you're drawing here. I think I got it, but I still don't see any sneakers though.
I think said without sneakers.
No, I'm saying it doesn't. It shouldn't have sneakers, but give it.
Oh,
sneakers.
but you want to give? Oh, I thought you just wanted me to draw something without sneakers.
I mean, listen, it's not a test. It's not a test. You're not going to fail it. You know what I mean? You're fine either way. But
well, in that case, I'll put some sneakers on this dude. I didn't give him legs.
You don't.
Legs on him.
Dude, you don't listen. You do what you want, man. You draw what you want. You draw what makes. Oh, look, it's Nightwing. Look, it's Dick Grayson on the table.
Yeah, there you go. Then look at these guys just chilling out on the side.
Oh, who's that? Oh, I wonder who that is.
Who's this guy?
So for everyone who doesn't know, I mean, we have Miles, Wade, and T'Challa are shipping, and we got Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, by the way, on pre-order. But dude, we talked about this before, but like I love them, but Wonder Woman kills me with those boots, dude. Her boots kill me. They're so the way that those laces go all the way up, man. I'm obsessed.
I'm like so. Thank you. Like I'm so happy the way those guys came out. Like I love comic books. I love Marvel. Love DC. Love all the companies that put out comic books. Admittedly, DC was that comic book company that I started out collecting first, and obviously since my favorite hero happens to be like Nightwing, it rings a little bit so right there.
All smiling right now,
pulls at it. And it's one of those things where like when Unruly gave me the opportunity to do the training, I jumped on it. I was like, I have to. And I'm glad you like it. I hope everyone else likes them. I hope everybody else able to get a couple of those toys, if not all of them. And I hope that you see that I like to think I did them justice.
Hey, what's happening? So we're gonna actually have to wrap you up, man. I mean, I want to see what you got here.
Oh no, all right. So I didn't put shoes on because I literally thought I was drawing guys without shoes, but it's a carrot.
Yeah, that's it. It's a carrot. I figured that out at one point. That's awesome. That is awesome. So,
because I was literally before the show, I had a few of my kids dinner and I had to give them, vegetables. So they got.
That's what I'm saying. Carrots shouldn't have shoes because they don't have feet. You know what I mean?
They don't exactly. They shouldn't have a mouth or eyes either. But I drew them with eyes and mouth. But it's all good.
Yeah. Anthropomorphizing. That's what we're doing.
There you go.
All right. So so it was good having you on as always, and it's always good breaking your chops. It's always good. And I'm sorry that we interrupted your vacation, man. God, I swear, like it still looks like your hair is moving, man. It's
dude, Alex, I'm not sure if you can tell. There's a little bit of a little bit of stubble growing here. So I'm trying to get that John Wick thing going to match the hair.
Yeah, it's really working for you. It works. Oh man, I wish I could show you my mask because you got to be safe in the quarantine. My friend had to make me a custom mask just to wrap my beard up into the mask. So you'll be there soon, Tracy. You're almost there. You're so close.
Maybe another 5-10 years. I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
Yeah, don't shave for 5-10 years. We'll see what you look like.
Yeah.
But, all right, man. Listen, it's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure too, man.
Take it easy.
Can't wait for one of these days where we get back to being, in person and hanging out and nerding out together, man.
Yeah, dude, man. Listen, hopefully next year. Hopefully next year we'll have San Diego, we'll have New York, we'll have Designer Con, 5 Points Fest in New York. Come on down to Brooklyn. I'll take you some real pizza, not this joke you guys have out here.
I'm telling you that conventional pizza was great at Designer Con.
Yeah. Okay. Sure, buddy. All right, man. Listen, take it easy, and I'll see you next time, man.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Oh yeah, here we go with dancing again. And now, get out of here. Just go. We don't want to see you anymore. We're done with you. Go back to the beach. The worst. You're the worst and the best. You are the best. And next up, we have, guys, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this. We have Nooligan coming on now. What's going on? Oh, I still see Tracy's face. Nooligan, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Can you see me?
I cannot see you yet, but I see your name really big. Whoop.
Hold on.
Yeah, mute your second camera. Oop. Can you hear me? Uh-oh, I lost you both. Am I still here? Oh, look at this. Look at this awesome graph you got, this little split graphic. I'm not that cool.
I try, man. I'm trying,
I only got the regular graphics. I'm not an artist.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I think it was the second camera was giving some feedback.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the second camera is actually working. It shows me on both sides now.
Yeah, it was working. I think it just might need to mute it.
Okay.
But there we go. But while you're getting that going, I'm gonna give you a choice.
Okay.
Of prompts, because I got 2 of them that I have prepared here, but I don't know which one you'd like better because they're both pretty good. Either a tattoo design for an imaginary lover.
Okay.
Or just another one of your characters from Union Street Choir.
Well, you can't really do that to me because I'm always going to pick the Union Street Choir.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't want. I didn't know if I wanted to make it easy for you.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean.
Yeah. No. Totally. So like a tattoo design for imaginary lover, or it's super simple for if you're going to do a tattoo design for imaginary lover. I don't think this other camera's working, and I don't think this is going to work. Right.
Yeah. So
okay.
If you ever wanted, you could show your progress when you pull it up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll show you for like a tattoo for imaginary lover. It's really simple, really fast.
It's gonna be your name.
I think you'll like it. Right. Watch.
Here we go. Let's see what you got. It's gonna be my face because everyone wants to have a tattoo of my face on.
So if you could see it.
Oh, wow. That's it. All right. Okay. It's great talking to you. We'll have a good day. That was
thank you. Well, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate the whole thing. I think it's really fun and I think it's really cool, So I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Listen, we're excited to have you on. You know what I mean? We're excited to have you on. A lot of people, when we were doing our booth stream tours, we had like the by request tours, and we were having people like yelling. They were like smiles, canary glue, snot. You know what I mean? They were like Nooligan. So we had, so they wanted us to go in and focus in on it, and it was awesome because me and a couple of the other moderators got to have our own little private tour of the the con floor. Oh wait, I see your hand.
Yeah, I think I fixed it. So sorry about that.
I finally got to I got to see it at Designer Con, but this was like a much up close and personal version of it. So I got to see
I've only seen them like at Designer Con. So like when you guys had it at Designer Con once, that was the only time I really saw them in person. And you know, for me, it's super exciting. I think I think they look really awesome, you know. Sorry for the background noise. It's just dogs, you know how they are.
Yeah, puppies. The puppies. I usually, a lot of times when I was trying to do live streams, you know, I live in New York and I live right by a train. So it would just, in the middle of my stream, a train would go by. So that's a distracting noise. But so, I mean, what's it? So you've been drawing the comic, you've been drawing Union Street Choir. It's available online, right?
Yeah, so I'm doing like web comics for Union Street Choir on both sides. So actually, it's really cool because I have two different sides to Union Street Choir. So I have one that's based in San Francisco, which is kind of Smiles with the mask and everything, and then the Mermaid is actually based in New York, and she's part of a group called the 5 Point Ferrymen. So it's two different like gangs on two different sides of the United States. And it's really cool. That one's from the 5 Points in New York, one's from San Francisco, around by the wharf on Union Street. You know, so it's kind of like a cool little thing. So they have two separate websites, two different things, and now you got to just watch and see how they kind of find a connection to each other across the United States in the 1930s. You know,
so it's like you got two different stories that are going to be converging into like
totally.
Yeah.
Two different ideas from two different sides, kind of thing, around the same time frame. Like, you know, I'm really like fascinated about the history and stuff. I do a lot of reading and stuff like that, and I love how both sides are very different, because you have how San Francisco was kind of like Victorian and kind of like the Paris of the United States, you know. And New York was very much just like the very first melting pot of the whole United States, where it had so many different like races and ethnicities, and how many different stuff happened there. It was so exciting, and you know, I kind of geek out about it. That's why I kind of created those characters, and super excited to kind of show people what it's like, you know, or what I think it should be like.
Right. Well, yeah, but I mean, because it's not like, you know, it's not like actual history, but you're putting it in a historical perspective.
Yeah,
you know, Which, as a New Yorker, I appreciate, you know, the respect for our history.
I mean, like, I think, you know, when I go to New York to shows, I think a lot of my fans in New York thought I was from New York.
Oh, really?
And because I'm actually from a reservation here in California, so I grew up on a reservation. But I grew up with a lot of New York influence and stuff like that. So I think I love like history, and I have a lot of respect for New Yorkers, but I'm very West Coast at heart too. So I kind of to do both, you know. So
yeah, you got that chill feeling where I've got that, you know, the New York, that nonstop anxiety.
Yeah, the horns is crazy over there. The horns.
Yeah.
You guys love the horns.
Yeah, and you understand, I try to bring some California, even though I'm not from California. I try to bring some of that California feeling where I'm there, and you're at a red light, and it's not even green, and people are already honking. They're already honking. You've got so much anxiety because people are honking while the light's still red. I'm like, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah. No. I'm with you there. When I was in New York, I was just like, I see the line of people honking the horns, and I'm always like, you ain't going anywhere, anywhere. There's like 100 cars deep. You're not going nowhere. And that one horn, but they can't help it. It's like they know, they just have to do it. You know, they don't even stop. Yeah, I try never to use my horn. I respect it though. You know.
Well, that actually goes like this is my favorite question, and I hope no one's bored of it yet, because I've been asking everyone this, because it goes into what you were saying, like how does where you're from inspire your style, like inspire the way you decided to create art? Because I feel like that does for everybody, you know.
You know, I think I had a broad kind of influence. I was very limited to what I could watch and what my influences were, being from a very rural community. So like when I grew up, you can see I had a lot of influence from like a lot of early cartoons, a lot of black and white cartoons. You know, you're looking at the Fleischer Studio stuff, the Felix the Cat, looking at a lot of like Popeye, a lot of that stuff, you know, kind of thing. Like, and then kind of mixturing it with when I grew up in the 90s. So you're looking at a lot of graffiti culture, a lot of hip hop, a lot of breakdancing, and then kind of you're just kind of commingling those two different influences. And then also like my dad was really into like, you know, mechanics and cars and stuff like that. I'm not really a car guy, but I respect it, you know. So it's kind of a mixture of like that 1950s, that then also having some modern influence with the breakdancing, hip hop, the graffiti, and then also throwing back to what my earliest influence was with animation, which was a lot of black and white stuff.
Right.
The early Superman stuff, all that stuff played a huge role on who I was. And then when I grew up and was really started getting influenced by comic books, you can see it kind of changing a little bit. And then from my early inspiration to like a postmodern comic book thing, and then turning into what I am now, kind of. So it's like kind of just taking all my influences and kind of rolling it up and then finding something I think that is uniquely me, if that makes sense.
No, that does make sense. And that's why I like to ask that question, because, there's so many things that in your life inspire you to do the art the way that fits your story, your narrative, your version. And this drawing you've got, look at this.
Oh yeah, it's so good. I'm gonna do we'll do a classic, I'm gonna do one of the other characters from Union, so it's not always just like smiles, 'cause that's what they always expect. Everybody expects smiles. Everybody loves smiles. So, but we're gonna do something a little different here.
All right. By the way, two things. Your giveaway link was dropped in the chats, and people are losing it. And
oh, awesome! Okay,
they're
so I
crazy.
have like a copy of it too. So this is a little card I designed to give away while I'm here, and thank you guys so much for making that happen. It was really cool. It's actually goes along with my little collectible cards here. So there's only 34 of these. It's number 150 of volume 2. And then super cool. But it's like canary blue and smiles, that I was really
that's awesome. Yeah, people went nuts already for it. That's awesome.
Oh, great. I'm glad they're really digging that. So,
but we're getting questions to kind of elaborate a little bit on the story, on your original story.
Okay, go ahead.
So well, basically they want to know the story of Union Street Choir. They want to know what's the for people who haven't gotten into it yet, what's the basis of it? What's the basic part of the story?
So the basic part of the story, it's kind of like what you would imagine to be the 1930s, like what I would imagine the 1930s being pretty tough, regardless if you're in New York, regardless if you're in San Francisco.
Right.
There's a lot of different kind of stuff going on there. Both sides, you're looking at the Great Depression happening around on the New York side. You're also looking at the bridges being built in the West Side, where the West Side didn't really have that much problems with depression, kind of as much as New York side did, So there's a lot of differences there, but you're playing with a lot of the history. But then what we're doing is we're playing with a lot of noir and a lot of what are these kids doing to survive? What are they doing to kind of get by, right? And so what usually those kids do on both sides, from the east to the west, is you start to learn how to fight, and you start to learn how to get into boxing in order to make a buck. And that's kind of where we're going with it, is a lot of boxing, a lot of underground stuff. And then the cool thing about it, obviously, with the mermaid, is that there's a little bit of supernatural, little myths and legends, and a lot of carnivals and sideshows, and a lot of cool fun stuff that kind of just open up into a bigger world. And then just the historical stuff. And then that's what I'm excited about, is offering more myths, legends based on folklore, myths of different cultures, like Native American culture, where I grew up from, Irish folk tales, a lot of different kind of stuff, a lot of Spanish and Mexican stuff, and super excited to kind of put that all together. What's really exciting to me, the idea of looking at somebody from a Samoan background, right?
Right.
And then seeing all the tattoos and how scary they were, and then kind of putting them with a Native American with the war paint, and seeing the what would happen with that kind of situation,
right.
Because I think that's kind of you're using that idea to scare the other person into submission, usually, kind of thing. And that's kind of what that, and then you're kind of seeing those two cultures clash on this level, and I think would be super fun and super exciting. So that's a lot of what the story is kind of going with. And I'm super excited to kind of have it out there. And I was also going to announce while I'm on here that I'm actually going to re-release the first few issues of Union Street Choir that were out a few years ago, which with a launching point to a new, probably a quarterly comic with a half a half Union side and a half 5 Point side.
Also, like it's going to be a split issue, so it's
Split,
like
yeah, you
get
get
both
both.
sides of the story.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
they'll have so I'm really excited to kind of have that coming out in this coming year, you know. So
Well, thank you for announcing that here, because we already got some people freaking out about it, and someone on YouTube's already buying a frame for the giveaway, so they say thank you.
no, I'm excited. I'm glad they're really liking it.
So here's a quote: "What comic book character do you relate to the most?" This is from Judy, I think, on YouTube.
You know, this is gonna be really odd. It's not like but it's. I'm a huge fan of the Demon Etrigan from Jack Kirby stuff. You know, he's
my God.
favorite. Aside, like, I'm a big fan of like the really B-level like characters. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Wildcat Ted Grant. I'm a huge fan of like Solomon Grundy, Deadman, Boston Brand. Like,
you're speaking my language, right? These are my favorite. You're talking about my favorite DC.
Yeah, no,
like,
and then like, but the Demon Etrigan is like my favorite thing. You know, like you know, I know Jack wasn't like he wasn't his most loved creation. But I love that whole thing with Camelot and like Morgana and like Merlin and the night. Yeah, man, it's such a good story. I'm like super excited. But I want it to be fun, you know. Yeah. And I know like a lot of the newer ones are like more gritty and scary. And I'm like, man, dude, the Demon's got to be fun because he's just so much fun. You know, the rhyming, everything else.
The rhyming.
Oh, it's like he's like my favorite. So.
I loved his because Sandman is one of my favorite comics of all time, and I loved that he had a cameo in there, and they talked about his rhyming. Yeah, like they brought it they brought it in there. I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah, you know, Paul, who's moderating, by the way, and I can see his comments. He is very excited because Ted Grant is like his second favorite hero.
Oh, dude, Wildcat is my man. Like, you know, he gets shot, swims across the whole ocean and come back, becomes a world heavyweight champion, and he just goes around just beating people. Oh my, he's the greatest. Like, he's the greatest, you know. And then Darwin Cook's like version of him when he fought Clash's Clay. It was like the best in New Frontier. I wish they actually had that in the animated series, like when they did the anime, because they took that out, and I was like, that was like the best intro like ever, you know? Yeah. Like, and I was like super excited for it and everything else. Don't get me started on Ted Grant, man. He's my favorite.
Man, that's awesome. You said Etrigan, and I kind of got really freaked, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I love
that's my favorite thing about like Justice League Dark was like my favorite thing because of all those like Deadman, Etrigan, and I mean you're pulling they pulled all these other characters out. I mean Constantine's always going to be a favorite.
Oh
Phantom
yeah,
Stranger,
I
love
stuff. Constantine, man. Like I
Solomon
love
Grundy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's like one of my favorites.
Justice League Dark. I only kind of wish that they would have had Solomon Grundy instead of Swamp Thing. I think Solomon Grundy would fit really well, like having Zatanna like controlling him. And then using him, I thought would have been like a better companion, but you know, I don't get to do nothing, you know. So it's like, but it's like super exciting to me to like see that because I'm glad Constantine is getting a lot more popular. Kind of makes it more exciting to see him in more stuff, and such a great character.
Yeah, it's just a lot, like you said, all those B-level and the magic characters are always, you know, Zatanna is one of my favorite characters. All those characters are basically so to hear you say that, I'm kind of freaking out.
Yeah,
and,
no.
And Paul too, you can't hear him because you know his microphone's off, but I'm sure he's screaming.
No, yeah. Those are like, I wish there was more like stuff with those characters. You know, like if they ever give me the opportunity, I would love to like do more stuff with those characters. I think they're kind of like due for like kind of something really cool and clever and fun. You know, comics are fun. They're supposed to be fun. You know.
I mean, I don't mind dark comics, but there is supposed to be a level of fun and escapism to it. You know, that
right. Well, I think that's, you know, if we talk about like right now, like comics should be a big thing right now, dude. It's like we're trying to escape what's going on in the world and everything like that. Comics should be fun. It's got to be a way to kind of get away from like the blues, you know what I'm saying, and kind of have something a little bit more as an escape. And but you know, what do I know? I don't know nothing.
Listen, you obviously know something, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. I like to feel like I talk. I don't know much, you know.
Listen. This is how we communicate, right? We talk to each other and we get ideas from each other. You know?
Right.
And who knows? Maybe some of your ideas, you know, maybe someone's watching this is going to make your idea come to life.
Yeah,
you know
well,
you're going to make it come
right?
To life. You know what I mean? I actually want to talk to you about So these figures are up for pre-order, right?
Right.
What was it like? Because I mean, I know you're drawing comics, so you get to draw multiple sides. But what was it like designing for 3 dimensions, like providing the artwork?
Luckily I've had an experience with it, doing some other stuff in the past. So it's definitely kind of a trying thing, and it's a little difficult if you don't know what you're doing, especially because like there's certain things that work in 3D that don't work in 2D, which is always interesting to discover. Like because I tend to draw like when I try to like Canary Blue's eyelashes, I tend to draw in like whatever direction she's looking or whatever direction and then when you do that, it looks great in 2D, and then when you do it in 3D, it just looks a little weird, so it's always kind of interesting that you have to kind of like learn to kind of work with a different medium that isn't necessarily doesn't work the same in 2D versus 3D. But overall, like like the whole turnaround thing, I've been practicing it a lot over the years, and it's a fun experience, but obviously it doesn't really do much for me until actually I see you guys have something, and I was like, oh my god, you guys made me look way better than I actually am, kind of thing. So it's always surprising, and for this personally, it means a lot to me, like more than anything I've ever done. It's really special to me, and it's kind of one of those things where I kind of freak out a lot, because I'm just like, I don't know if it's really kind of a shocking thing to have your own characters being made, especially by you guys, because it's like to get the best guys in the business doing something for you that doesn't really have much, behind it, and it's a humbling thing, and I'm super excited for what it leads into,
So that's the thing, like having faith in art and in an artist, and seeing their work, and seeing, what it could be. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That's why I love with Sideshow and Unruly, especially, that they really push the artist. You know what I mean? They push for the artist. You know what I mean? A lot of support for that.
Yeah,
you know
totally. Yeah, I'm a big fan of what you guys do. I'm a big fan of what you guys continue to do, and I'm always inspired by who you guys pick up and what you guys have. All the new people in there, it's super exciting. Because like there's a lot of people I don't know. Like I'm so bad at like who's who and stuff. Like when when you guys got me on the list, I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. I hope they're nice.
Yeah.
So because I have no idea. A lot of stuff, because I kind of stick to myself, so
well, not anymore. Now you're part of the Unruly fam, my friend.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're part of the fam. We had a question from Ron L on Facebook says that he just got your comic on Comixology.
Oh, cool. So yeah. Well, that's cool. They're still on there. I didn't even know they were still up there, but that's really cool. Yeah. So like we said, we're gonna be oh, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no, that's it. I was just telling you that.
Oh no, that's super cool, because it's exciting. I wanted to have those out there, and then also kind of be able to launch past it with some new stuff with with what I'm planning and stuff like that. So I'm super excited to kind of offer a new because like when those were first done, they were done so long ago, around 8 years ago. I was a lot younger, they're still, for me, they're still solid, but there was also like what I want to do with it now that I've kind of matured a little bit, and then have a better sense of storytelling. So I'm able to kind of build something more vast and kind of more, I think, better, right? I hope. Yeah. Right. That's the hope, is that it ends up being better. And then, but I'm super excited to kind of release that, have those out there, and then continue with it with a whole new set of characters, whole new set of things, and see where it leads to. That's exciting. I'm glad you picked that up. So thank you, Ron L.
Someone on YouTube asked, what other artists do you look up to? Like who's like one big artist you really look up to?
This is like, it's an interesting question, because most of the people I really like are either they're either failures or they're no longer here with us, Right. So and I tend to have most of the people I really look up to. You have like your Will Eisners, your Jack Kirby's, when I grew up with a lot of those guys. Obviously Darwin Cook was a big influence on me. Still love Bruce Timm, who kind of thing. I kind of went through the whole animation side, where I always liked things that were more different and more unique, So that, and then when I was growing up, that was a lot of my inspiration. All came from a lot of the old school guys and a lot of the other artists too, you know, just like animation, like, and all that other fun stuff kind of thing. I tend to like, whenever there's something that's the norm and you should do it, I just obviously just make up my own rules and go the opposite direction. So I never kind of stick with I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing. Well, I'm just gonna go find something else because
listen, man, you got to be you, right?
I try. I think I almost have too much of a rebel like spirit, and I always do the opposite thing, even if it's wrong, you know. So I don't know if it's always a good idea, but
listen, sometimes being punk rock pays off, man.
Come on. Well, you know, there's so many rules in punk rock. There's so many rules.
I know. What happened?
There's so many. I don't know if I meet all the criteria because there's so many rules in punk rock. I was like, oh, they're all. You're not punk rock unless you saw this band live. I'm like, well, I didn't see that band live, but you know, I still feel it. They're like, that's not the same thing. There's
no, it's not the same, man. No, you didn't see them on this year and in this venue, whatever.
Or this one show, you know, like this one time.
Yeah. No, it's funny.
You know all the rules. You know all the rules. I don't know the rules.
Listen, that's the thing. I'm like you. I'm not a big fan of rules. Unruly, but you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
See,
I like that.
I'm not a big fan of the rules. That's why I don't subscribe to that stuff. But
no. I feel like I feel the way to victory is kind of just making up your own rules and making everybody else play by them. I think that's the best way to go.
But because that's how you build the future, man. Because if you just do one thing, you know what I mean, nothing would ever change.
Yeah.
Nothing would ever change. Nothing would evolve. So you got to play by your own rules sometimes and let other people pick up on it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know, kind of.
We'll see.
We'll see. You know, but just to answer your question, you need a lot of animators, a lot of cartoonists, a lot of old school like comic book guys, kind of just really influenced my artwork and kind of started the path, and then at one point you just gotta like go off and do your own path. And I think that's really important when you're kind of going forward, is realize you can only go, because you look at somebody like those guys, right? They have this huge thing of work, and you're like, oh man, it just makes you want to quit, right? Because there's so much stuff. And then you realize that I was never supposed to be them. I was supposed to be me, so I should just go and be me instead. And there's that path isn't. There's no path. You make it yourself, you know? So,
right. Because I mean, if you think about all these people who influenced you, right? They started out where you are. They started out making their own path, right? You don't have to be them. You got to be you. That they didn't want to be the other guy. They wanted to be them.
Yeah. And I think that's really important to kind of realize at one point, because you can't be them. And then at one point you just got to just be happy. And then you have to accept the fact that you're going to have to go in some uncharted territory all alone. And that's all good. You know, you got to be fine with that. And I'm excited to go down that road, even though I don't even know where I'm going half the time. But I'm excited to kind of to see where it leads, and see, stuff like this. Super exciting for me. Stuff that I never, like years ago, never even imagined even being in this position, you know?
Right.
So,
to have a figure you made something, and now you get, someone, you can have a tangible version of that.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff, and especially like stuff from Union, which is, from Union 5 Points, I never imagined being something that I can hold in my hand like that, kind of, and I'm like, especially if my own stuff made by you guys, it's just still, I don't even think it's real yet, So I still kind of think about it all the time.
I've seen them twice now, so I can confirm that they are real. I love the Canary Blue's got a pipe that actually blows, bubbles out of it. She's a mermaid. I love that, man. Like all those little touches.
Yeah, Canary Blue is really fun. The tattoos, you guys did an amazing job with all the tattoos and stuff. It just came out. It came out beautiful, and I'm super excited to get it out to all the fans, and hopefully they'll give it a shot, and hopefully the webcomics will help kind of give them some kind of basis, right? Because the webcomics are not necessarily like a something to follow as far as the actual story goes. They're more so just to kind of get to know the characters, a day of the life type of thing, like something you think about the lines of a newspaper comic strip, or like an old school kind of thing. It's just, and I think that's just to kind of give you a free introduction to what they're going to be possibly doing in the future and what's going to happen with him. And I think that's exciting. And then I put in a lot of work. Obviously I took the week off from the web comics this week. It's been kind of a crazy week for all of us. Yes. But yeah, we'll be back to business next week with new stuff, new characters, all that other stuff, and kind of continuing with it. So we're super excited for that.
That's awesome, dude. Listen, I'm very happy for you. I mean, that you're so excited about this, you know what I mean? Because we're all excited to see it. They're both on pre-order now for anyone who's looking for it. You know, and like you said, having the comics to provide some context for the characters also helps. You know what I mean? It's going to help those people, because I mean, they could see it. You know, it's always fun when you see something like a tangible thing, like a toy. You know, like when we were, you know, kids. You know, I see a He-Man toy, and then I want, you know, and vice versa. Where the cartoon makes me want to buy the toy, but sometimes the toy makes you want to watch the cartoon.
Totally. Yeah,
You know
it's like
what I mean?
He-Man, right? It's like He-Man. You kind of get the toys, and you're like, man, he looks really cool. And then you get and that's the kind of the context of kind of trying to have these cool characters and have like their what they look like, and then but there's more to them than just that look. You know, there's more story there and more to offer. And I think what I've always told myself when it came to before, I know you guys got to go, but before I was about to when I was designing them, or when I was offered this thing, I said to myself that you know, Smiles has been with me as like a mascot for years now, like at conventions and stuff like that. And I said to myself when I was given the opportunity to do this, if I didn't give him a backstory and didn't give them the proper introduction, I'd fail him, because he's never failed me, you know, kind of thing. We had him out there. He did everything. He brought people over. He let people know that that's who I was. And if I didn't give him a proper story, then I failed him, you know? So,
that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here. This is awesome. That drawing is amazing. I'll look forward to my mailbox. Like I said to everybody,
for sure.
I want it for free. That's my prize. And thank you, man. Thank you for talking to us. You know,
thank you for
a lot of
taking
good
this
insight
time.
into you, man.
It's super exciting. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
See you later, buddy.
Yep.
Thank you very much. And so, so his stuff is, we got Smiles and Canary Blue are up for pre-order now. And yeah, this is awesome. Can't wait to see what comes out next. So up next, I don't know if anyone's ready for this. Look at this. We've got Jesse Hernandez coming in. He's coming in hot. What do we got here? Jesse, you with me? How awesome is that, though? Can't wait to hold Canary Blue in my hands, all by myself. Jesse. Here's some echoes.
The second one.
Oh, okay.
Trying to do the double phone, camera action. It's definitely still talking. Knock that off, yo.
Well, we hear you. We got the echo, but we hear you. We know you're here with us.
Let's see. What? All right.
Got you on a technicality here. I think I'm gonna throw some trivia questions at you to throw you off.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
What up,
man? What's going on, dude?
Chilling. How you doing, brother?
Oh, dude, I'm doing good, man. Dude, look at this room. Look at all this stuff you got, dude.
It's a little bit, man.
You are a collector.
I had to throw it off a little bit. I actually normally face the opposite direction. And I was like, all right, well, let's flip it and try to draw on a table or something.
That's awesome. Oh man, dude, that Wolvie Muerto mask, dude. Like I'm killing myself not grabbing that at Designer Con, man, dude.
Oh man,
I'm kicking myself. Look at this thing. Oh, dude, that thing is insane.
Fun fact.
Uh-oh.
I actually just made a new version because you got to close the front.
Oh, with the teeth.
Yeah, man.
Dude.
We're in the quarantine now. You can't be having this open.
Yeah. You got to put a little filter in it. Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I'm kicking myself. I didn't grab one at Designer Con, but, I'll get one. I'll get one of these days.
Oh, right on,
What's
bro.
going on, man?
Sure. I was hanging, man, hanging. You know, good to see you guys, and been watching everybody doing the drink and draw tonight. And so that's been
Giving
fun.
Tracy a hard time.
Oh, I mean, his hair was blowing in the wind in Hawaii, bro. That was off the hook. Like,
I don't know what's going on. That guy's crazy, dude. He's crazy.
Man.
All right, so let me figure out what your drawing prompt is.
Trying to
And
figure
then
out.
I'm gonna throw some trivia at you. I have a couple of trivia questions that I think I'm gonna throw you.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, because I know you like wrestling. I know you like sports. So I did some research, just try to mess with your head a little bit. So, but for your drawing prompt, I want you to invent your own original luchador.
Okay.
Whole thing, and not one you already. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I want to see all the stuff you got in your room, so you don't steal one of your old ones.
Oh man, yeah. See, I was just about to start cheating right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, fun fact. Let's see here.
Oh.
Get up and run. It's my boy Lindsay Dorado.
Dude.
Big ups, man. So when he went into WWE, I actually designed all of his gear. And so like the mask, everything on the way down when he went into the CWC.
Yeah.
And so since we're talking about luchador masks, shout out to my boy Lindsay. Let's see, original character. Can you see my other camera or is there a way?
No, it's pointing at the ceiling.
Is it? Good times.
Now we see your giant fingers.
Wah, wah.
Getting a close up of your eyebrows. There we go.
That's a complete fail, bro. Let's go. Come on, Zoom.
So now we're getting your face in stereo.
It's everywhere.
It's like a 3D movie.
Let's see. So how's the Zoom stuff work here? How we flip? It's like giving me no options. It's a good thing it's live.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's there. It's absolutely it's live. It's gonna be fun.
Let's see. All right.
Meantime, Sierra on Facebook wants to know, is that the mask you wear to the grocery store?
Ooh, it's happened. I normally rock this dude Pantera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there we go. We just turn the whole camera around since I can't figure out how to flip it. There you go. There's a way around it.
Right now, yeah.
Bam. All right.
It's got to go a little. There you go. Now we can see it. Perfect.
Shouts out to the wife for being like, turn your camera around, dude. Just turn the whole phone around. What's wrong with you?
Listen, I didn't think of it. I'm sitting there staring the whole time.
Let's see. So to start something new. All right, cool.
Start something new. I'm telling you, I'm gonna. You don't know this. I installed a camera behind you so I could see the whole room. I know if you're gonna cheat.
All right.
So you're an Oakland A's fan, right? You're an Athletics fan, right?
I'm an A's fan and a Giants fan, actually.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you. This is some sports trivia. I looked this up because I was like, I'm gonna throw you. I'm gonna definitely throw you. And now remember, this is Price is Right rules, right? The closest without going over.
Okay.
Out of 18,480 games, how many games have the Oakland A's won in their lifetime?
18,480, you said?
Yeah. And you know what the best part is I didn't even write it down on the sheet, so I don't even know the answer. I gotta find it.
I'm gonna go with let's see, 12,372.
I'm just gonna say that that's right because I forgot to write down the right answer. But I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
And say, is it the strictly Oakland A's, or is it when they were in other towns as well? Or
no, I'm just talking from the lifetime of the game of the sports. Let's see. I'm looking it up now because I can't believe I forgot to write it down on my sheet. That makes me the fool. So I'm just gonna say 12,000 was right. That's exactly right. How funny! How funny is that? That I forgot to write that down. But here we go. I want to ask you some questions about. Right. Did you see? Okay, so I don't know if you got to see it in person, but I'm sure you've seen pictures of it. The life-size stone edition of Wolvie Muerto.
I have not seen it in person. I'm super jealous of everyone that has, and I wish we were in San Diego right now so that I could stand in front of it and just be awestruck by it. Because it's always tough. Like, how can you get a sense for that thing in like a picture? You know, like I was looking around my room and I have like, you know, a 20-inch dunny up here or something. I'm like, that thing's 27 inches. Like it just dwarfs everything around me. And which is insane. Like, how is that possible? You know?
Dude, I don't even know, dude. The finish on it, dude, looks like stone. It looks like actual stone. And it's pretty crazy, dude. And especially even the regular life-size one, because I was fully on board for the regular edition, right? I love the poster. I love the poster, how do you pronounce that band's name? It's Pucifer, right? Right?
Pucifer. Yeah, it's a band, it's an offshoot of Tool.
No, I've seen them live. That's the worst part about it, is I've seen them live and I listened to them and I never got the pronunciation right. So it's Pucifer?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
We have to ask Maynard.
Yeah, let me hold on. He's next on the drinking draw. I'm gonna get him on here. But that poster like blew my mind when I first saw the poster, and then to see it in 3 dimensions is pretty crazy. But dude, the Stone edition, I wish you got to see that thing in person. Like when hopefully
hopefully I'll have one soon.
Yeah, hopefully you have one soon once in production.
I don't know how soon, but yeah, that'd be sick.
Which I think you can. I think you can RSVP for that now. But
true that.
And the life-size version. So for anyone looking, go online and you got to check out. You can RSVP for that. But dude, I'm telling you that they're insane.
Right on, insane.
Bro. But like, I want to talk about some of the design choices. So when you first drew it, right? Because I know like yellow and blue are Wolverine's colors, but like, what informs that style that you put together? You know what I mean? Because I know you had the exposed bone and all the what informed that specific style?
So it's funny how that whole thing even came about. So I was trying to combine so like Wolverine, obviously, with like Dia de los Muertos style. So more bones and there's a lot of trying to get that whole undead Calavera vibe in it. And then getting the Lucha Libre influence. And when I started putting it together, I realized like, dude, this is like Rey Mysterio's mask fits this so good right here.
Yeah.
And shouts out to Big Ray, 619, I am Lucha. What up, homie? And but yeah, so like I started putting the like the eagle from his, but then flipping it like further more of the Aztec eagle vibe to it. And then getting the skull and everything in it, and then in the top we got the so in the poster it was a cross, which is a straight up shout to Rey Mysterio, but then we switched it up with the sculpt to the Nawi Olin symbol, which is the symbol of movement. And and so then I wanted to have like the OG X-Men colors with the yellow and blue, and I heard rumors there may be some of the OG brown, I don't know, maybe some X-Force gray.
Well, look at this guy starting rumors. He's starting.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Trying to start a movement going. You're trying to start
the Aztec stone joint.
Yeah. What if you're trying to get like a change.org petition going for extra colorways?
Just shouting out possibilities into the world here and see what comes to fruition.
Listen, you got to manifest. You got to manifest what you want, right?
You got to will it. You got to will it, man.
Anna corrected me, by the way. Anna went and found the actual wins. So I guess you do lose. I hope you drinking anything tonight?
Yeah.
What are we drinking? Everyone who's watching, if you're drinking along, drink safely.
Little coffee up in here.
Yeah.
Mix that with some Red Bull.
There you go.
We're staying awake.
So you got to take a sip now, because apparently you went over. It was only 9,452 wins from 1901 to 2019.
All right, so I was just I figured at least they were 50-50 plus a little bit, and I gave them a couple thousand extra. That's they still got that 50-50 though, right? So they're 500%.
So you got some questions. Let's see. We got Joe on. Oh, well, actually, Joe on YouTube's wearing his Urban Aztec Oakland A's shirt right now.
Hell yeah, brother! That's what I'm talking about. Represent.
And let's see. Ocean Man Land on YouTube wants to know what inspired your awesome Aztec style.
So what inspired my style? So, obviously my my artwork has always been reflective of my culture and my heritage. And so there's been strong Native American, Chicano, Mexican, Aztec influences since the jump. And so it's always been kind of a root connection for me. And it wasn't like it just, happened overnight or something. It's something that always just kind of kept evolving. And but yeah, I guess it's just always been a throwback to, kind of like pride in your culture, so I think that's the main root cause.
That's important, representing your culture in the world is actually, it's really important because what it does, it exposes people who may not know it. And so doing like your translation of a licensed character may bring someone to learn more. You know what I mean?
Speaking of, how do we get to do a little mini series Wolverine Muerto action, bro? Like, I don't know who I need to talk to at Marvel. How do we get that to crack off? Because that would be off the chain.
Hold on, let me get on. I just got a call because actually someone asked a question about that, similar to that. Let me get on the call with Kevin Feige. We're just gonna get a movie cast for you right now.
Yeah, let's just do that straight off the jump. Why not?
So Jessica Garcia on YouTube asked if your art and or characters could one day make it to the big screen, what director would be perfect to direct a movie based on your characters?
Which director? I think perfect would be Robert Rodriguez. And then if we wanted to make it a whole other like comedy vibe, I'd go with Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Would be the whole other thing, but
Could be a co-direction.
Yeah.
heavy in the action, heavy in the comedy.
Right.
That'd be insane. Oh, your boy's coming in now with the question.
Uh-oh.
Kano wants to know.
It's got to be Kano if you said your boy. Yeah.
He wants to know, what was your first production toy?
First production toy. The first production toy I had was the Fooly Cooly Canty with Ka-Ching brands. And so that was the very first crossover edition of 100.
Yeah.
You want me to get it? You want to see it?
Get it.
Yeah, we'll get it. It's right here.
Get it.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
And so this was from the anime Fooly Cooly, FLCL. And so I actually did like an Aztec rain god. This was based on Slalak also, which I later did as a dunny with Kid Robot. And but yeah, so this is him right here.
Dude, that's insane.
100. This was 06-ish, something like that.
Right.
And then the first toy I had with Kid Robot was the Jaguar Warrior Dunny.
Oh yeah.
After that. And so that was, that was like one of the, and I was actually with Kano when I saw it for the first time in New York. We had a show at My Plastic Heart together. And so that was super dope. And we went to go to Kid Robot and I was like, hey, so you guys got a few extra samples here. Can your boy roll out with these back to California? And they're like, yeah, for sure. Okay. We have more than one, so you could take it,
Yeah.
If we just had one, sorry, bro.
Let's see. Someone's asking. Greg on YouTube wants to know. He sees the Shogun Warriors behind you.
Yeah.
Have you ever created anything based on them?
As a matter of fact, I have.
Oh my gosh, he's getting up again. You gotta.
Well, so you see up here, I got Ray Dean and Grendizer. I also got Guy King up here. But the Mecha Azteca, if you haven't seen it, it was on this desk before, but I'll drift into space.
Uh-oh.
And this is the jungle version here.
Dude.
And so this piece was done with Rage Toys. And so this was essentially like my favorite of the Shogun Warriors was Guy King. And I was like, well, how could you flip Guy King if he was like the Aztec version, right? And so this is in, Guy King is based on a dragon, and my main character I like to draw is the Death Serpent, which is also based on a dragon. And so, yeah, this was the one right here.
That's the colors on that too, man, the sculpt is insane, but the colors on that are insane.
Right on, bro.
That's so awesome. A bunch of people in the stream want to know where they can get your hat. It is time to do some shameless plugs, man. It's time.
So this hat actually just came out with Hat Club earlier this year. They sold out, but then they did a pre-order. So at the moment, it's not available, but it will be back soon. As soon as the quarantine is over, we'll be having more that you can pick up. And because I think we're going to do another colorway. And I think I had like 3 other designs coming with them. And and it's got the Urban Aztec official right here too.
There you go. Shameless plug.
Yeah,
keep it
I
coming,
mean, if
man.
you asked, I wasn't saying
that's
nothing,
that's what, dude. We're encouraging all the plugs, man. We're encouraging all the plugs. Let's see. Carl Adams on Facebook wants to know, what comics or artists did you dig growing up?
Comics or artists? Let's see, comics or artists. That's comics. Wolverine has always been my favorite character. So the fact that I got to work on Wolverine with you guys is like the most amazing thing ever. He's always been my favorite character.
Yeah.
And then other characters we got, let's see, Death's Head, Deadpool.
Death's Head. That is a deep cut, man. Death's Head,
Bro,
dude.
Taking it back to middle school on you right there.
Yeah, man.
Let's see, we got Deadpool. Who else we got? I remember collecting Ninja Turtles way back when. Big up Kevin Eastman. There's so many. Spawn was my jam for the longest time. Yeah. And let's see, as far as like artists and stuff too, Joe Madureira was one of my favorite dudes back in the day that was mixing like the anime with cartoon comic styles. Scotty Young is another of my favorites. Let's see, back further, Jim Lee.
Oh yeah.
Obviously all the dudes from Image, Todd McFarlane. But yeah, there's so many, bro. Like there's so many influences.
That's always a loaded question.
Yeah, Mark Silvestri. Big up to Mark Silvestri.
Dude,
The Darkness was one of my favorites.
Darkness, man.
Darkness, bro.
Yes, dude. He was with his lines, man. His lines were insane.
Bro, crazy. He's so crazy.
Let's see.
I met him for like half a minute at Comic-Con this last year.
So here's a question from me. This is a question from me because I really love the Iron Mayan. And I'm not even that big of an Iron Man fan, but I love the Iron Mayan. And I want to point out, if anyone hasn't seen the back and really studied it, like, I love that you put that face in the back. Like, you built the face into the back. Like, what was that design choice to, like, actually, you didn't just make the whole front of it. You made the entire back, like the repulsors. The eye, you know what I mean?
Well, and so to me, I feel like you have to make it look cool from any angle. Like, you want it to be like, if you see it from the side, you're like, oh, what's that? Or from the back, like, you want people to be like, yo, I'm glad I turned this thing around and realized there's this whole other design back here. Like, to me, it's important that, like, no matter where you see it from, you're like, dude, that's tight. All right. Like, they came for real with it. And, really we're trying to make something that, had steez from any which way you looked at it.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a trip too. So like when I was I went to Mexico City and I went to like the Museum of Anthropology and a couple of times seeing like the sculptures. Dude, they would put art all the way around any piece. And they even had a sculpture where it was like floating up in the air. So you could see the bottom where they had sculpted too, which was only like, it would only go like to the earth goddess that would see it. No one else even knew, so just having that, respect to like every direction was like dope, and so I think that's another like piece that's always been there where I'm always trying to keep it tight from every direction. Even if this drawing isn't the tightest, but I'm trying, whatever.
No, I get it though. Because it's almost like you're not just making art for yourself. You're making it for people who won't even see it. It's pretty strong dedication. I'm talking about the one on the bottom of that piece you're talking about. It's like no one's going to see it, but it's still, you're doing it out of respect for art and culture itself.
For sure.
So now, so we talked about the Wolverine. You want to make old school colors. What would, if House Party Protocol, if you had freedom for Iron Mayan, right? House Party Protocol, any colorway on that Iron Man. Do you have a specific one? Is there like a specific Iron Man armor that you love more than others? Any color? shaking his head. Already knows.
I want to do the Wu-Tang with Ghostface, bro.
Oh my
Straight
God.
up. Straight up.
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
That's awesome. Tony Starks. Oh man.
And I pitched it to him too. I'm like, hey, bro, what's up? Let's get this going. If we have to do a custom, we'll do it. You know, like we'll get it cracking.
That's awesome. So like what? So like you do like a Killer Bees colorway with yellow and black.
Straight up, bro. Killer Bees. You know, honestly, oh snap! What if we did a Hulkbuster version of the Iron Man? How sick would that be, bro? Like,
I mean, that would be out of control. Can you imagine? Well, like you think, so now we're like spitballing here. People are going to like start yelling at me. Stop giving them ideas. So they did the life-size Wolvie Muerto. Imagine like the life-size Iron Mayan and the little Iron Mayan goes inside of it. Like full-on Hulkbuster.
That's crazy. That would be insane. Bro.
That
would be so sick.
My phone's going. Alex, shut up.
Full body too, yeah.
Yeah. The full body and the little Iron Mine goes inside. Let's see. Here we go. AJ.
You want another one? You want another luchador? Here's this guy. I don't know.
No, this is beautiful. That's it. I'll give you my address. You fold it up. I'll put that up to the camera. Let's everyone see. Dude, that's insane, man. With the teeth and the tongue. And you just come up with that. But again, I know that I'll accept that that's an original. That you didn't just copy off the.
Yeah, no, that was fully just whatever. You know, I don't know what's happening right now. I can start another one too if we got time, but I don't know.
You can do it. Yeah, we got a few minutes. AJ Agrusa is asking, is there a character you haven't had a chance to do something with that you always wanted to draw or work on?
There's a lot. But so let's say Star Wars, for example. I'm hoping to do a like Mandalorian Boba Fett here pretty soon. We'll see what goes on with that. I've done a sketch for it already. Darth Vader, Stormtrooper. I'd love to do a crazy Darth Maul. I think that would be insane. I have ideas for Black Panther. You know, some Killmonger. It's funny because you know I draw like teeth and claws so much, he automatically becomes Killmonger when I draw him. So you know, I guess we'll just start there.
Start from Killmonger and work your way back.
Yeah, I'd love to do a giant Galactus that could hold the other bus too. I think that would be insane. And I don't know if that maybe is on the table.
Stuff here.
Dude, this is Archangel. That would be sick.
With the wings, dude. I mean, like, imagine what you could do with the wings, getting those little flourishes and those design styles.
Do people still dig Onslaught, bro? Like, he was kind of dope back in the day.
Onslaught's pretty cool.
You know, I mean, of course, Thanos, bro. Like, I actually have a sketch I'm working on for him. So stay tuned for that one.
I think with all those things you do, like, I'm trying to describe what it is, but the things you do, like you did with that tongue, imagine his like big purple nutsack of a chin, right? That's what they call it. Imagine putting those sort of like those sharp edges, you know what I mean? Like you did with the tongue. Imagine each one of those was like part of the tongue. I'm with you, man. I'm on board.
Yeah. No, I think that would be off the chain. Let's see. But yeah, no, there's so many, man. Like
there's too many.
We could go on for days. Yeah, absolutely.
Here is another question. What platform toy did you find the most challenging to work on? Because I know you did Quicks. I know you did Dunnies.
Oh yeah, big up Quicks. Challenging. I mean, Quicks was tough. Trying to flip that. Because you know, like the more edges and things you have to work with, always makes it a little tougher to make your forms fit. So I feel like the Dunny and the Money were always kind of like, you know, they were suited pretty well. Let's see. Also like the Mad L, boy Mad. His was designed well for platform, but we never made that. So what's up, bro? What happened? That's okay. But
I'm right under the bus.
Let's see. But yeah, no, I always liked working on the Dunny a lot. That was always dope. And then, but yeah, I mean, getting your own sculpts and everything else changes the whole game anyhow, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking.
True. I mean,
getting past that now. But yeah.
Translating your own artwork to 3 dimensions has to be a whole other story. Someone's actually asking where this is another time for you to plug. Where can they buy signed Urban Aztec prints?
From my site, the Big Cartel site. So it's you can get there urbanaztec.com or jessehernandez.net. They'll all lead you. It's actually hernandez.bigcartel.com, I think, is the actual store link. But yeah, so there's prints in there, and if you don't see something you're looking for, you can always hit me up. You know, then I'll see if I still have something else. But yeah.
Sweet. Well, it looks like we are running out of time, but I just want to make sure everyone knows that Mictlan is shipping, Iron Lion is shipping, I think Wolvie Muerto is shipping, and then both of the life size are, if it's not shipping, it's up for pre-order, and both of the life size are up for RSVP. So anyone who's asking, the RSVP for those monsters, and then you know, me and Jesse are working on the side to make our Hulkbuster, right, man?
Oh, absolutely. That just became the priority #1 right there.
That's it. Now they're never going to invite me back. But yeah, man, dude, it was awesome talking to you. That mask is awesome.
Oh, thanks, brother. Right on.
Mask. And I'm gonna get myself one.
I might have 1 or 2 available. I don't know. Let's see.
All right, man. Listen, thank you for coming on, man, and talking with us. And you know, damn, man, good stuff.
Oh, good times, brother. Good times.
All right, brother.
All right, you stay up.
See you later, man.
All right, peace.
Peace. Listen, everybody, that was awesome. And you know, check out you're definitely going to RSVP for those life size, dude, because those things are out of control. I got to see them, and you have no idea what it's like. It's to translate it into photos doesn't do it justice. It looks amazing. I mean, it looks like actual stone on the life size stone edition. So that's it. I'm going to thank all the artists. Listen, we had Chogrin, we had Nooligan, we had Jesse Hernandez, Urban Aztec, Kano. Of course, we had Tracy Tubera, and we had Tom Whalen. I want to thank all of them for coming here, sharing stories with us, and you know, having a good time with us. Let's see. I got to. So we have a Gleam contest that we talked about, and I'm just trying to remember. We had the Death Wish Coffee prompt. So the Death Wish Coffee prompt is Coffee Reaper. So we have the Gleam contest where you can enter to win this huge prize pack, including all these awesome things and some pins. And to get that, you have to draw the Coffee Reaper. Well, you don't have to draw the Coffee Reaper, but that gets you a ton of extra points if you submit those onto your social media. All the rules will be in there on the link. And I guess that's it. I'm going to thank our friends at Death Wish Coffee, because listen, these things are amazing. Their coffee is amazing. It is the strongest coffee in the world, I guess. And enter for a chance to win that prize pack. Just remember that due to international regulations, we can't fulfill international on that. But you know, everyone, please enter to win and for a chance to win. So, and that's it. Everyone have a good night. Thank you for joining us at our inaugural Unruly Drink and Draw for Sideshow Con. And there's more Sideshow Con programming tomorrow and Sunday. Tune in, I think, at 8 a.m. tomorrow for the first walkthrough of the Sideshow Con booth. And thank you all again for joining us. And don't forget to let your geek side show. Thank you very much.